What's up, everybody? This is the poker coaching study session. Today, we're going to be looking at
3-bet pots played out of position from the big blind. And these are not filtered on my hands. These are just against our opponents. So I'll go first. We have this guy's gonna be in position. Oh well, so this one doesn't apply. Let's go to the next one. Here we go. So another one in position. How annoying.
That was out of position. Blind versus blind.
Yeah, I know, but the 3-better has been in position. Is this? Don't tell me this
Okay.
is what the filter is going to look like. No. Okay, here we go. Pocket eights raise. Perfectly great raise. Queens 3-bet him, makes total sense. The non-intuitive thing here is that when you're playing at a big table, how often queens don't 3-bet from the big blind, how often they just call. I think they're gonna raise pure against the cutoff. But earlier than that, let's just look at this once, just to learn it real quick. Here we go. Against the earlier positions, here we go. So under the gun, 8-handed, raises, big blind queens, no raises. There we go. Queens start raising against low jack -2, against low jack -1, still there. Against the low jack, queens. It's not till the low jack that queens are even a majority raise. And look at how much they call there. I assume most of us are not doing this. Most of us are just 3-betting queens against somebody from any position. Is that true?
No, yeah, when they're early like that, I definitely will not always 3-bet. It kind of
Mm.
player dependent.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the one that's fascinating, is you really don't do it here.
Yeah, and look at small blind too.
Yeah, small blind doesn't do it all the time. Small blind will be raising more than big blind because small blind is incentivized to push the big blind out. You don't want to give him odds.
Now, is that because the earlier positions ranges is so strong, or more so
Yep.
because you want to keep their
No.
earnings in there?
No, it's because they're so strong.
No.
It's because they're so strong. I mean, look at in the game of pairs, look at how much you're only barely ahead with queens against in the game of pairs range. So yeah. But by the time you hit low jack, where our big blind is doing it most of the time, now look at all the pairs he raises that queens have dominated. Now the queens is decimating the pair versus pair. All right. So we go back to here and we get queens. He 3-bets. His 3-bet is small. I don't know if he's in his mind, if he's doing this exploitatively or if this is just what he believes is the 3-bet size, but I wouldn't be surprised that this is his exploitative sizing. And I don't like the smaller sizing with queens. I don't hate it when they do it with aces and kings. I think queens and jacks benefit from folds a lot and can stay with the standard 10 here, 11, 12, even 13, all numbers.
Also, in theory, we're using a larger 3-bet size because it reduces the SPR,
Mm-hmm.
which in turn reduces the in position positional advantage.
Excellent. Yeah. Yeah. And then when you're out of position with aces, I mean, how bad is it? You know, you can shave a few points off for your positional disadvantage because you have aces.
Yeah, I agree. Aces, I sometimes undersize.
Right. But also that's also only against players who are either not thinking or don't play with you all the time, who actually will recognize that's a small 3-bet size. I believe that my play is easily exploited by overfolding to my smaller 3-bet size. Knock yourselves out. All right. This should slow everybody down. I like check call here for queens. Just check call, check call, check call. That's what I like for them. Yeah, check and check behind with the eights. Great. He's got the ace of diamonds. So I can call a bet. Here we go. The jack. The queens have free reign to bet now or the river. Um, I, in game, I think I err too much to betting here because of the two flush draws. When I probably should continue to check and just suck it up and lose sometimes to the flush draws and only bet the river. Let's see what he does. Because there are two flush draws, I think that when he bets here, he should size up, even though his hand doesn't want to. So there's that. He just goes tiny. Against this
It's also
bet,
thin value against your hand clubs.
yeah, I know. Against this, yeah. For this sizing, can I just fold eights right now? I think, no, I think I have to lose. I think I have to lose 6 more big blinds. I think. Yeah, I just do. And then he checks, I check behind and he wins. All right. Anybody want to play this differently? Any street?
You might have some constructing of bluffs when he checks and he's got a diamond on flop.
All right, let's look at that.
Quite precarious.
All right. We are cutoff raise. Cutoff raise. Big blind goes 10. Here we are with eights, never folding the cutoff, just losing. Flop is 6-4 diamonds, ace of hearts. Ace of hearts. His queens love the check there. Look at all the checking on this board.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Look at how much ace king checks. Ace queen's a majority check, and all the other aces don't, you know.
One thing I always come back to is that we bet often with ace king because we're cooler in other aces.
Right. We're gonna look at one thing. I'm gonna look at the check. I'm just gonna give myself the most common bet here and see if these other aces are all for check raises or if they are check calls. Okay, so the most common size is the two, both of them. So at 5.1, these aces come in. They do not check raise. The remaining ace kings do, but no other ace is feeling so good about itself that it wants to check raise.
I think cutoff has some ace king in the range.
Yeah. And against the big size, even more so, because cutoff has a lot of ace king.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So, so he checks, and with my particular hand, yeah, you can start a bluff. Surprisingly, it would rather, tiny bit would rather start a bluff without the diamond. That's
Yeah.
surprising. Is that true? Am I reading this wrong? Yeah, let's see the checks. With a diamond, we check 65, 51, and 51. Without a diamond, we check 47, 55, and 40. Yeah, you'd rather bluff without a diamond and with a heart. So heart, no diamond, likes the bluff. But I just check, if checking back is fine. And my particular combo, it's fine. We checked it back. Turn was the jack of hearts, was it? No, couldn't have been that bad. I didn't get demoted to third. I did. With the jack of hearts, maybe I just fold now that I'm demoted to third pair. Maybe it's just a check. All right. Queens don't bet much, but this time he did. And when they bet small. And he did. And the eights are shook. Specifically, heart diamond is the only one that should do it. I got spade diamond. Did not get that right. Not, didn't violate the solver, but could have just folded right there. All right. Good enough. We did the call. River 4 clubs, and it's going to go check. And when he checks his queens, which he does not do in solver land, but he doesn't break the solve. Eights do not bluff. We just hope. All right. Mike.
Okay. Alrighty. Well,
I'm gonna
getting
show-
spicy.
I'm going to show the cards because we want to know at least one of the hands.
Oh, that's right. You're not necessarily involved. I thought you were going to 3-bet there, Scotty.
Oh, that is
Okay. Yeah, so yeah,
That is a high level of spice.
we got the open and pocket seven should never really three bet. There might be like slivers in the solver, but just don't think you really need to be doing raise three betting pocket sevens to an early position like this hijack.
Yeah, it's this.
I think it starts getting up there in the nines might start to have a little bit, still not even half. Like it's like, oh yeah, nines. Shoot, look at jacks even.
Yeah. Yeah, there's you know, you could learn you could learn this 4, 6, 10 sliver, but why bother?
I was thinking nines and tens might get up into the 20s, but yeah, they're still.
No. You are, I mean, you are polar. Value.
Yeah, go to smaller three bet. See if how
Okay,
much that.
right. Free bet size, any. We don't have it in this mode, but let me see.
Oh,
Let
yeah,
me see
but
if I have it in simple.
yeah.
I don't have it in simple. This is hijack. Okay, we can look at it in this mode. This one's gonna have it. 2.5 change. General, three bet size. We don't have it. I don't have that adjustment.
Okay.
Oh well. Post flop included. Do I have it here? Here we go. I got it here. Opens 2.5. Three bet smaller. Now let's look.
Yeah, now you get a little bit more like all jacks, little tens,
Yeah.
slivers of the nines and eights.
Yeah.
But still
And
pretty polar. Like look at all that over there.
oh yeah, it's still, I mean, it's not, it's just, it's changing the threshold, but it's still,
Oh, but this is cut off too, so that's different.
oh, was that hijack? Okay, hijack. Here we go. Hijack, big blind. There we go. Similar. Really similar. This is all value. This is all bluffs. Queen 10 hasn't decided whether it's value or bluffs.
Yeah, and in hijack, I go all ace four, ace five, all king six, king seven, and all queen eight, queen nine.
Nice.
That's where I kind of slide everything into.
That's really nice. I like that. Easy to remember. Good board coverage. Keeps the regions true. I like that a lot. And then these hands here these hands are not bluffs. This one's a bluff. These are not bluffs until you get re-raised.
Yeah.
So when you get called, you're okay with ace queen and sometimes king queen. You're not very okay with ace 10. You know. Yeah, when you get called here, what are they calling that is worse? Nothing. Some your offsuit tens beat some of their suited, your offsuit aces beat some of their suited aces, your ace 10. So you're not pure that way. Your king queen beats their suited kings that call. You're ahead of all this stuff that calls and you're flipping with all this stuff. So not super bluffy. It's just super bluffy when you get re-raised and then you realized that this was that everything here is now your bluff. There's your super polar region. There's your island of weirdness. And here's the thing that we talk about, but never ever do. I never find this. Anybody still finding these?
Hmm.
The ace five
Yep.
going on with
I
it?
find the ace five,
You do it?
but I don't.
Yeah,
Found the ace seven last night.
All right.
it's
The
really
I
against
found the
select
non-existent ace
opponents.
seven.
I fold the ace five on the theory that they don't have these. But my opponents don't have this. And I think you need this for the ace five to be profitable.
I think
They call all this.
they need to overfold too. So like they may not call that, but they also are going to fold ace queen off and ace probably like ace jack suited and stuff like that.
OTR 3-bet?
No, to the four bet. I thought that's what you were asking about.
Oh, right. I'm saying so. Oh, right, right. You're saying that when we go, when we go four, they will. So you're saying when we go 4, if they're gonna fold these, then the ace 5 suited becomes profitable?
Yeah, and they're not gonna jam king jack and king
Right.
6 and ace 8, and
Yeah.
they might even get a little weary with jacks.
Okay. So you're arguing for finding this ace 5 suited here?
Yeah, I do. And again, I don't know, how correct or
Okay.
whatever, but it's definitely against select opponents. It's
Okay.
not against like the recs, the recreationals.
Yeah.
I do not find 4-bet bluffs almost ever.
Okay.
It's strictly against like solid aggressive players.
Good. Okay, great. Brendan, I'm never 4-betting ace 5 suited mainly due to the strength of their 3-bet range. Yeah, that's been my adjustment slash simplification slash fear. That's what I'm doing, Brendan. And
Especially against me. 4-bet.
oh yeah.
I did get 4-bet twice last night when I 3-bet.
Good. Did you have to fold or did you have continues where you had?
I had to fold. Like I sat down. It was the first 2 hand I 3-bet. I get 4-bet. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Sometimes they have it, Sometimes it's not a strategy or anything. Sometimes it's just the cards. All right. So
Yeah, they have it.
right. So this guy.
It's about their frequency of their, how often they will continue to your 4-bet and how weak their 3-betting is. And like kind of Sam is like a good example. Like Sam is a player that if I'm at the tables, he's the kind of player that I would
Yeah.
find the 4-bet bluff against, and I would not find it. I'm not doing it against the recreationals, the people that aren't 3-betting light and are going to overcall.
Yeah,
You're making that distinction. That's great.
yeah. I mean, I 3-bet against guys who had limping range, and I thought that they had sizing tells. But I guess I was wrong that 2 times. Well, one time we got some cold caller. Maybe that's why 4-bet.
Also remember, when they have a limping range, that means that their opening range is stronger. Because the weakest part of
Yeah,
their
one guy.
opening
Yeah,
range-
one guy did not have a limping range.
Yeah.
Yeah, one guy did not have a limping range. I sat down. It was like probably 45 minutes in. I 3-bet 2 times. The other guy's a regular. So
So we've determined that the 7-7 here is not a great 3-bet. And we've determined previously that that is a bad way to 3-bet.
Hmm.
All right. It's your hand, Mike.
Yeah, king queen suited. So we don't have any hands on this player, I assume. We're just kind of an unknown. I will just call here, but I could get behind doing some 4-betting depending on the player. Like if they're, I guess, like really bad, like kind of whalish, I could get behind doing getting a 4-bet in here.
Yeah. So just to remind you guys, if you didn't do it, we did 2 days on what these min 3-bets mean. And the conclusion was that they are generally a very reasonable 3-betting range. They are not super overweighted to aces. They're not super overweighted to garbage. They're similar to a reasonable 3-bet range. They're just being played badly. And we also discovered that how bad this strategy is, that the normal 3-betters were winning, I'm going to make up the number, but it was close to this, 80 big blinds per 100 on the hands that they 3-bet. And the min 3-betters with a similar range were losing 50 big blinds per 100. I mean, it was crazy. It's a
How did you know?
because we did a database analysis on it. I went through my database and did the filters. I'll remind me on Monday and I'll show them again. I'll show you the results, but we have here's.
No, it's okay. It's okay. If you said you did it.
Yeah, we did it. We did it as a database analysis. We looked at it and then we compared min 3-bets to normal three bets to huge three bets. And the huge three bets were the most profitable, but the huge three bets were all the people who were just going all in on their three bets and they had a stronger range. So it wasn't that it's more profitable to do huge three bets. It's they took their profitable hands and did them huge more often than they did other sizes. But the
So
min,
this mini three bet, it's a reasonable linear range.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and it had some bluffs in it, and we saw some nonsense, but it wasn't, it wasn't like it was always aces. And it wasn't that, oh my God, this is filled with these 7-8 offsuit bluffs. It was, you looked at it and you went, yeah, that's about what I think my opponent's three bet. That's close to what I think their three bet range is. Just these guys decided to min it. All right, here we go.
That means when you have stronger hands, can you click them back?
Yep.
Like
Yep.
if you have ace queen suited.
Ace queen suited. I don't like ace queen suited as a four bet. And so I don't like it as a four bet against them. No, I wouldn't ace queen suited. I would,
Not a big size. I'm talking about like a
min
teeny
click back at
clicky
them.
size.
Oh, geez. What does that accomplish? Tell me what you like about that, Sam.
Well, especially when we're in position, that is great, right? Because he made it 5, you make it 12 and a half, 13. Do you think he's gonna fold sevens? I don't think so.
No. No, he's not.
So that way you get initiative,
Okay.
and then you're getting his dominated hands to call. So I don't see that as a bad thing. No.
Okay. So when you do that, so here are the advantages I see to that. I expect he's going to be playing very face up against your small 5 bet. I'm sorry, your small 4 bet. He's going to
Yeah.
be very face up. So that I like about it. Here's what I don't like about it. You're reopening the action against the top of his range. And if you're doing it with hands that have good implied odds against pocket aces and pocket kings, you've just thrown away your implied odds. That's assuming that he now comes across with a real size 5 bet.
Wouldn't you prefer to do that with something like ace queen offsuit then? So you can get him in with hands that you dominate, and he's probably going to come back over the top with hands that have you crushed already.
Right? And you don't mind fold, and you
Yeah.
would much rather fold an ace queen offsuit than an ace queen suited.
Yeah,
Yeah,
then get
but you-
into it with against ace king and get cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
but you're saying that the range is not heavily weighted at the top, right? So
No, I didn't say that.
Normal.
oh,
I specifically didn't say that their min 3 bet range was filled with aces and kings and ace king and ace queen suited and some ace 5 suited and and jack and queens and jacks and some tens. It looked like a normal 3 bet range.
it looked like a normal 3 bet range.
It looked like a normal 3 bet range.
Oh,
You know,
then yeah, no, then I thought it was like a lot of 9s, 8s,
No,
7s,
no,
queen suited, queen jack.
nope. That was a surprising thing, was just how much it looked like a normal 3 bet range. We're going, what are they
So
doing?
it's a polar range.
Yeah, polarish.
Right, yeah, then no,
Also,
no.
it's remember, and also Sam, remember, this wasn't against one opponent. This was averaged against the field. This is what the field's average who plays this way was.
Yeah, no, then yeah, no.
Okay, good. All right,
Don't
good.
do that.
All right, Mike.
Yeah, I don't think it was polar at all. It was very linear.
We could look at it again. We don't have time to do it today because I'm gonna buzz out after this hand. But Mike, you're
Anyway,
the king queen.
yeah.
Because he
So
played
what does he
sevens
do?
badly, you get to be king queen.
Yeah. So what happens? What does he do?
He sizes up.
Oh, it goes almost pot. Yikes. I mean, I'm gonna call this bet here, and then not be crazy about the future.
Yep, I agree.
Just kind of, yeah, just more implied odds type stuff, and
It's a pretty
And
big.
also positional advantage.
It's a pretty big
Mhm.
bet to call with a gut shot. It's a gut shot and 2 overs, but you don't know your overs are good against his range. But I just don't think you're folding, direct equity in one hand. Well, he did. Yeah. All right. Up next is Brian, and then Mike, if you would start inputting that filter, because I'm going to hand it over to you after Brian.
That's not a thing on this board though.
which is not a thing on this board.
The
The big
size.
bet. Yeah. So maybe pay attention to things like that when they're doing this on a board they're not supposed to.
But
Mm,
already
what-
we've classified him as a guy who is not using GTO sizing. He is
Yeah, I
not
don't know. This
either not studied or didn't study with us.
I don't think this is necessarily not a big bet board here, like a B75. And this is really big. We don't use this size very often, but a B75 I think would be within theoretical realm.
But also think about this. How big is an 8 big blind bet in a 3-bit pot? It's not very big. You see, we're calling this, we're looking at this as percentage of the size of the pot, but the pot is too small for the hand range that he is drawing from because of his trivially small 3-bet. All right, that didn't resonate with anybody. All right, Brian.
Yeah, yeah, I heard. That's a good point.
You got a poster.
Well, obviously, raise.
Raise.
Three.
Good. What size do you want to raise these queens?
What are the stacks looking like behind us? I'd raise normal, like 2.5 to 3.
Okay, so let me point out one reason to raise bigger, which is because this poster is here, the pot is inflated. And so you can size up a bit more because of this. Mike sizes up here to what size, Mike?
I think 4.5.
Here's 3.5 for me. I'm small. I go down.
But you wouldn't, no, but you're still sizing up compared to.
Oh,
if-
to the regular open? Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
go to 3.5 here, out of position in early position.
Right. So that's what the thing I was pointing out, Brian, is because the poster is here, 2.5 is too small.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably raise the 4.5, but I see the 3.8.
Me too. Mike does that. Okay. It's on you, Mike. Bye.
Oh, wait, you got to leave?
Thanks, Scotty. Are you here on Monday?
Yes, Monday.
All right.
No,
I hope he
3.8.
makes someone a host or we're gonna lose the session.
He's just leaving it on.
Well, he's going to the hotel. I mean, the airport, so he's gonna have to shut down his laptop.
But I'm gonna, yes. So you lose the rest of this hand. Sorry. It's time to switch over, Larry. Here you go.
Thank you, Scotty.
Thank you, guys.
All right,
Brian, go ahead.
Mike, I guess it's on you to
Okay, yeah.
keep us
So there
going.
you-
Thank you, sir.
Um, let's make sure I have the correct filter, which I think I do. I think it looks just like the one he sent. The only difference is I put in between 8 and 9, which is a small blind or a big blind raise.
Yeah, that makes sense. Save and apply one time.
Except now you're gonna capture a bunch of small blinds where the small blind raises and the big blind 3-bets them. I mean, you have those anyway. Never mind. Bye. You have what you have.
Okay. Uh, and let's make sure. Do we need to hide the word?
Out of respect for our intrepid host, I would say yes.
Okay. Then let me get the hideaway always on top thingamajiggy. Let's do that. And then I think it's bang. All right, good. That's it. Now we can bring that over so we don't see the dirty word.
All right. This looks spicy. Is the hero getting spicy here?
I don't know. I do not know. Maybe. It shouldn't be all hero hands, I don't think. Oh, yeah, I think I gotta uncheck that, right? And that should eliminate me, or not eliminate me, but not. Okay. All right. So back to what Scotty was talking about, I think is kind of important. When there's a poster and or limpers, right? You definitely want to size up your opening size. You don't want to make it your normal open size. And like Scotty was saying, he makes it 4.5, which is pot, which is a pot size raise. I've adjusted a little bit and I actually size down when I'm in earlier position and keep it back and go back up when I'm in later position. Anyway, so who were we on? Larry, do you have the list?
So I could start a list. There are, and for that reason, I'll go first. So,
I'm writing it down too, Larry. Mike, Larry, Andy, Brian, Brandon, and Sam. All right, Larry, take it away. Let's
um,
hopefully this filter works. Oh,
you should
wait, good.
fold.
Show known hole cards, and this is probably so recent that we're not going to get to see those hole cards, so I'm going to go forward because that's within the last so many hands. There we go.
All right. This looks like we're gonna have a blind versus blind, which is fine. So queen three is not an RFI. Oh, queen three is an RFI here, actually. So queen three could open. All right, I imagine it's gonna flat, which is in theory naughty. And then you get a squeeze size. I would use 14 here.
Okay. Then, of course, you know that's a fold.
Don't think we call eights here. Because you're deeper. But I just don't, but you're out of position. I just don't think you're getting the implied odds. I mean, so can he win 13 times the pot? No, he can win 7 times the pot. 6 times the pot. So he should fold this, I think. But he's gonna gamble, and that's okay. All right, so now got positional advantage on him. He should check to you. We didn't. I think I would check this out of position, but I think in position we get a bet of around 10 to 12.
Okay.
Checking is fine. And he now has a chance to make whether he's gonna turn his hand into a bluff. I wouldn't. This flop texture is very good for you. So I would check if I was out of position. I don't mind a check raise here is hell. And you can fold quite easily. However, there isn't an argument to get one suit for exactly his in class. Like 5s through 9s. I kind of like a bet here of like between 10 and 15. And I would overfold to a check raise. With the anticipation that I'm going to check back river. Yeah, okay, check. Probably gonna check.
If you could be eights here, right, Larry?
Say it again.
You could have eights here. I know you
Yeah.
said you would probably fold pre-flop there.
I think I
Or
would
not
fold
call.
pre. I think, yeah, I don't think we're getting any flat odds.
Yeah. So he checks.
But he checks and you have an easy check back.
Okay, yeah. So I think Scotty's right. This filter is going to get some small blind. So we were in position in this hand, which I know the theme of our
That's no worries. No worries.
Larry,
Mike, it's you.
Andy.
You're all right. No,
Oh,
Andy, it's you.
Andy said, be right back. Brian.
Yo,
Okay, this one's you.
fold, 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 fold,
Oops.
fold. I'd open on hero, yeah,
Okay.
and then 3-bet to like 10, and then fold. And I mean, you're in position. I mean, I'm definitely calling. With the solver things, but I'm pretty sure you're supposed to call,
Yeah.
especially a small size in position.
Yeah. What do you think of that 3-bet size in the small blind here?
I think it's small because you're out of position. I'd rather make it a little bit bigger,
Yeah,
but
it is definitely small. It's definitely out of the norm.
you got plenty of implied odds with 8-7 suited.
Hypothetically, if he made it a normal 3-bet size here, let's say 11, what's happening with your 7/8s and your suited connectors? What's in theory, what's appropriate?
You is there some 4-bet bluffs there? I'm pretty sure it's all calls though, I thought.
Yeah, I don't think there's any 4-bet bluffs. I think it's if you continue, it would be a call. And do
Yeah.
you think you're continuing 100% of the time?
I think it's weird. Isn't it set up weird that you have like, um, some like 10-9, some of those ones don't call, I thought, and then like 6-5 suited does call. So I think
Yep.
it's actually not a pure call.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. So it would actually it's actually going to fold more often than not when they make it a normal size. Now this is considering this, considering a full stack, right? I think it's even more of a fold when their stack is um, short, like he started with 70 big blinds or so.
Yeah.
But you can see there's just, in theory here,
Oh,
you're
even
folding a
6-5.
lot. I mean,
Right.
all the way up
Yeah.
to Jack 10, Queen Jack suited. If you can make a case for calling against certain opponents
Mhm.
um, that you think will stack off when you make nuttish type hands, but that's the case. But yeah, you were right. You definitely don't want to call too often here to this small size. I think your calling is going to start creeping in there a lot more.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah. And that's not a bad flop.
Only 40% of, no, sorry, 80% of a straight flush.
Yeah. So then, if I'm the queens now.
Yeah, let's say you have a typical you're out of position with queens here and you've been flatted and you say you have a full stack like you would have.
What I
And
always find interesting about this spot, not to interrupt, is look at our equity with just the gutter. I think if we had an open-ended straight flush draw here, we get like 55%. But here
yeah,
we're essentially flipping right now.
Yeah, I mean, but with the queens, I mean, I guess with this board, it's not great usually for their range, but I would expect to see a lot of check raises. So I could see honestly just checking this flop, but you need protection. So I'd probably bet. I mean, any of his flushes aren't going to fold.
what
Um,
size?
I was gonna, and smaller 3-bet. I mean, in the pots, you're supposed to usually bet small. I would say, yeah, you'd still probably bet like 6 or 7 big blinds.
Yeah, I'm thinking that if we were to run this, that you're going to check a lot, number one, and when you do bet, you're going to have some bigger sizes, and it might
Uh,
range anywhere from B33, B50, B75.
so why do you think it's gonna be some bigger sizes?
I think it's because we should be checking out of position at a pretty decent frequency on this particular flop because
Yeah.
because it's a better flop for us. Like you're not 3-betting threes, fours, or fives. You might have some 4-5 three bets. Of course, you do have all the overpairs, which we don't. 6-7, we're gonna have that probably at a higher frequency. So I guess we're just gonna have more nutted type stuff.
That's
Ace
why I would
deuce.
think you would bet smaller, because they're gonna be calling with anything either way, and I'd prefer not to bet large into a pot that I could already be dominated in.
So,
That I
Yeah.
have the nut
fun
advantage.
fact, I got it pulled up in peak right now. Now granted, obviously I couldn't put input their 3-bet size from the small blind, but 7-8 was almost a pure call. But then on this flop specifically, since that's where we're at, we are checking 92% of range,
Wow.
including queens. And our specific combo, diamond heart, checks 89.4% of the time. And when we do bet, it elects for the small, like a B25.
Nice. Okay, good.
Well, I guess and I'm assuming it's checking so often because you can expect to get raised here pretty often as well. Would you think that's why?
We sometimes
to-
have races in position, but it's much more rare than check raises.
Okay. All right.
To the buttons calling range, if we look at what the buttons response to our 3-bet, they just don't have anything. I mean, they have really like pocket pairs wise, they have some jacks, some tens, nines, like they have a few, but we have all the over pairs. Other than 7, 8, 6, 7, we have such a huge advantage. Actually, we don't. Our equity out of position is 50.6, so it's almost split equity.
You know
So
what's
you're
funny,
never-
Andy? So is there rake in the peak?
Yeah, because I'm in the 6 max.
Because look how different these two sims are. Here in the Wiz, look at the bet sizes.
I know, it's crazy. So obviously, like I'm in 6 max on peak, just so that we can kind of calculate some of the rake, where I know this wasn't 6 max, but when you get to button open and small blind 3-bet, the ranges are close enough that in reality, like they're represented. But the peak 6 max uses the 6.5 or the 2.5 open. And it peak uses the 10 big blind 3-bet from the small blind, where obviously, our villain in this story went with the 8.5.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still versus the 10 big blind open, 7-8 suited is still calling with is still calling we have 7-8 spades is still calling 75% of the time. So we are represented, and I'm sure like if you were able to change this size to 8.5, we would probably 7-8 suited would be calling 100% of the time, and we would actually probably add in a bunch more 4-bets.
Yeah,
bluffs.
to 8.5. Look how much it goes up when they make it 10 as opposed to 12, and then you
Yeah.
make it 8.5. These will probably be pure.
Yeah. And then, so based on that size, obviously our pot's a little smaller, so that's going to change some of the betting frequencies a little bit, just because they're going to have, the button's going to have a much wider, should in theory have a much wider range at least. But yeah, peak has us checking our range at 92.2%.
Yeah.
And the only size so it likes to use the B24 5.2%, and then the other 3 sizes that peak gives, which is what B60, B100, and then jam, which is kind of wild. And actually the jam for 428% pot is used more, almost as much as the other 2 sizes as the B100 and B60 combined.
So yeah, so that's a strange difference because Wiz likes a big bet when you bet. It's nothing but B75s and over bets.
Which is
Yeah.
I would
If you go to range
really
versus
love to
range,
know.
does imposition have a range advantage? It does. A little bit. And I guess it has a big nut advantage, like big hands, probably.
It's
Best
weird
hands,
that
big
in position.
best hands, yeah.
Should have
And
more
it
sets
has
and
best
more.
hands, good hands. It has nut advantage. You could see it in the equity chart too. So that drives us to checking often, and when we do bet, we are very polar. In theory.
Crazy. Let me check just for funsies. I'm gonna look at the 8 max with no rake and see. I wish that we could do more customizing in peak.
Yeah, so it's interesting. It's a interesting dichotomy of strategies.
It is.
I do
Crazy.
So
like the check though.
yeah, checking was absolutely the, most frequent action.
And I mean,
to see why the solvers are so different.
pretty sure I just saw that I'm actually supposed to fold sometimes to the size, but I might just be a sticky ass player and I would make the call with a straight flush draw.
Do you ever think about jamming this?
Didn't come to mind. mm, I mean, you have a decent amount of equity, so like, you can be okay with getting in. Why would you jam? I would like to hear your. Oh, well, there it is. Why would you jam,
You
Andy?
and Scotty did because we want to see all the cards. We want
Yeah.
to fully realize our equity.
So just get it
There
in
is
when you have that
so
much.
many cards that can come on the turn, even just that will scare the shit out of his range, not just this specific hand. Obviously it's easier to say because we can see his hand, so we know we're not sharing any outs. But I mean, with this specific hand, probably, I mean, any ace, any king, especially because what do people float with so often? Ace high, king high, maybe once. We make our straight, it puts a 4-liner out there that can easily shut someone down. When we call in position, the flush card comes on the turn, that shuts him down. We can just get the money in now, and one, it gives us a little heap. This player clearly is never folding queens in this spot, but I think against
Hey,
reasonable good players, we can get some better hands to fold with a jam
yeah,
here.
I'm saying when you can't see, or if I didn't know he had queens, obviously in game, I'm not certain he has queens or anything.
Yeah.
Might be like, oh, he has an overpair, but I would just be concerned that most of my outs that I do have are already dead with a higher flush draw.
I
That
just
is,
don't know. I mean, what's realistically the only higher flush draws you're against? Ace king, ace queen. That based on this player type, I mean, broken stack, weak 3-bet, he's probably not going to get super aggressive and come out betting pot with a flush draw and 2 overs.
that's true. I mean, yeah,
Like
I don't know.
this
I feel
player
like
type. If we
at
can
least,
we hover on his HUD stats so his 3-bet percent is 0. So this dude, so right away. I mean, granted, there's not many hands against him,
mhm,
but like dude hasn't 3-bet once. He's not aggressive. We can almost be positive that this is an overpair. I'm gonna call it his range in this spot as like queens, maybe jacks plus ace king, ace queen suited. Um,
I mean,
Against that range, and he might not even be 3-betting ace queen in that spot. You know what I mean? Obviously, we
yeah.
know that it's queens plus and better, but
My
I
only
agree.
thing
Like
is
a
that like,
sample size is so small that we don't really know, but judging on the broken stack, the kind of his VPIP and PFR, um, and limp fold, I'm gonna guess that his 3-betting range is pretty fucking narrow.
okay,
Um,
yeah.
and that
I
he's
mean,
just gonna be the guy that
I,
calls a lot.
so I have a question with this. In my games that I play, generally, like a lot of the players are super attached to any strong starting hand, like especially on a board like this when they're like, oh, okay, like I have ace king suited. I mean, they might have a flush draw. A lot of those players, they'll kind of just get it in there because they're like, I have a strong starting hand. I'm short stacked. I'm just gonna try and get it in. And I guess that's, I mean, like, how does that make you? Does that, I mean, does that change anything for you? Or is that
And
kind of
then
keep it the same?
sometimes you lose.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, so look at against when we see against his range or against what this is saying, when you go hide the cards again really quick and watch how these equities change. Watch this. All of a sudden, when we can't see his hand, we have 56% equity against basically, I don't know what it's giving him to calculate this. But you got to think against, while we're discussing, let me I will pull up some Equilab. Where the hell are we? There we are. And what would you guys say is a fair 3-betting range to give our friend here, our fishy friend?
Queen offsuit and better.
Let's say jacks plus, ace king, ace queen suited, and
King queen.
do you want to give him king queen suited too? Strengthen his range even a little more?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd say probably that and even
That's
maybe
fine.
even offsuit.
You want to, okay, that's fine. So let's take that against our exact hand. I know you guys can't see and we're kind of just talking right now, but the flop is 3 of diamonds, 4 or 5 of spades. Let's evaluate. Against that extremely narrow range, 3-betting range of jacks plus, ace queen suited plus king queen suited and king queen off, we have 53% equity. That's why we want to get it all in. It's a numbers game, plain and simple. You know, plus there's the chance that, I mean, there's, you know, a king queen and an ace queen may just fold, you know, saying I don't want to play for stacks here. And again, like even in your games, do you play mostly online or live?
Especially online.
Mostly online.
It's the like micro smaller games.
Okay. I mean, you can
Just
put the
something I've been
pressure to,
noticing more recently is that a lot of the players will kind of just, if they have a strong starting hand and the board comes out, a lot of times they're like, oh, well, I have ace king, so I'm all in, or like I'm ready to go.
so against ace king, you have even more equity. Let's give him exactly ace king, no spades.
Yeah, I mean, you're obviously crushing that.
Let's give him ace king of diamonds. Our equity versus ace king of diamonds on this flop, we have 58% equity.
Yeah. Yeah. That
So
makes even more sense to just put it in.
yeah. So even if he calls, I mean, now we have the straight draw, the flush draw, and a 7 or an 8 that can help us. That's what I'm saying. Like his cards don't necessarily. Now this player, I think, broken stack, the 3-bet sizing, he's never folding an overpair, which is fine. Sometimes we're just going to get stacked, and obviously Scotty got it in. He was thinking the same thing. Or these aren't Scotty's. Whose hands are these?
This one was mine.
Oh, okay. So Mike, I guess we're not even talking for Scotty. Go ahead. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, no.
I mean, is
You said
if anybody
everything.
have
Yeah.
any thoughts other than what I've said, or
I really just didn't, something I need to work on is when I should be putting it in, not, so I just wanted to know why.
Just the amount of equity that I knew. I was certain this guy had an overpair. Like, I didn't care because I had nearly half the pot share of this pot. So
yeah. So one thing, Brian, like it's tough to get to a point where that thought process is just natural. That like when we go back to the flop, right? We have 47% of the pot that we own. When we get it in, over the long haul, we are going to realize that, and that's against this specific combo. When you actually hide the hole cards, we're a favorite against his range. Which means we want to get the money in every time and realize every bit of equity. You know, we say call here and it's a really bad. Now, obviously, that's not a really bad turn card, and stacks are so small. But let's say we just flat him there. That puts pot to what? 18, 30, 50-ish bigs. And then he jams. How good do you feel about calling off a jam on the turn on a different
Great.
turn? I mean, obviously, like that turn, we're just not folding no matter what. Unless we're not, I mean, unless we are 100% convinced he has nothing but an overpair.
I mean, I'm still making the call. I don't love it. Just is what it
So
is.
why not just get the money in on the flop? Because what if that's a spade? What if that's, say, the 9 of spades and he locks up because he's just in his heart of hearts, he knows you have a flush draw. I mean, granted, I don't think he's ever folding this combo, but against his range, he has ace king of diamonds, and that was the 9 of spades. Is he putting another penny in that pot?
No.
Yeah, the more equity you have, the less fold equity you need. Like
Yeah.
if you flop a combo draw on a board that's on your advantage and you're not like you can't really call. Because if you call and the turn came a 10 of diamonds and he shove on you, you might not get the right odds. Like you want to take an action where there's a chance that he might fold, like an overpair, even though it's slim. Is like if he fold an overpair, that's a mistake, and it doesn't matter if he calls because we have the equity. So these are the spots you just have to be willing to gamble and go bust.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, that's just something I need to work on. And I have so much
Yeah,
equity, I might as well just get it in here instead of
yeah.
trying to see another card, because I do run into where I hit and then I don't get paid because it's obvious that it got there when I probably could have got paid if I just put it in. They might have folded sometimes too.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a thing about balance. I mean, you could literally flop a set here, right? What do you do when you flop a set? You know he has a strong range. So,
Yeah.
like, you're not like actually if he calls against you when you only have a combo draw, like let's say you only have like ace jack of spades, ace queen of spades, and ace 10 of spades here. And all the other jams are you have a set. He's losing money calling with queens. Like he's basically losing money. So yeah, you just have to be able to, willing to go in.
Hey, you kind
Especially
of
if you're
brushed over
saying,
this a little bit, but pre-flop, because he's only starting with 70 big blinds here, we get this small 3-bet, and it's back to us with this hand. We kind of
Yeah.
brushed past this a little bit. It's small enough, yes? Everybody agree that that raise is small enough to call here?
Yes,
It's
yes, you
6,
could,
right?
yeah, you could fold to the normal size here because of his short stack, but not to that size.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah.
See, this is the
And
spot.
we're
Like
really,
I think a little bit differently. Like if the guy is already starting with less of a stack, and then his range, we deemed him to be like a limp caller. So this 3-bet range is just like very strong. I would shy away from these hands. Like the hands that I would calls are pairs, like and like the ace-x suit, like the high ace-x suited. Like I would just not do this.
I can agree with that.
Uh,
I would say obviously very stack dependent. If we're playing 200 bigs deep, these are the hands I kind of like to call with against this type of player because we know he's never getting away from an overpair.
Yeah, like this is just for me. It's not deep enough, and like I can't bluff him off of anything. It's just, and then he doesn't have that much money behind for me to win. So
Yeah,
That
I
makes
thought this
sense,
was
but
pretty questionable. And it was the small size that made me decide, okay, maybe I can get involved here. But no, if he was 70 big blinds to start and he made it his normal 10, I'm folding. I'm folding 7-8
yeah,
suited here.
yeah,
so let me add one possible wrinkle. I understand what you're saying, Sam. It makes sense that given the stacked up and all that, but when you said that you preferred, let's do the ace eight and the ace seven suited instead of the 7-8 suited.
no, no,
What
no, no.
about the
I'm
fact
not
that those are
calling.
dominated?
No, I'm not calling A7 suited. Like
Oh, okay.
I,
Okay.
I would
Okay. Good enough.
only show up here with like Ace 10 suited and better. My range is literally like super strong and
Okay.
hands that are very easy to play post flop because I either flop a set, I stack them, or I don't. So I would not speculate. I literally like Queen Jack suited. I'm out of here. That's how tight I play against these players.
All right, Andy, you were gone when your turn was up, so you take this one.
Okay. Oh, you're not gonna let me decide if they open or fold? I
No, I'm
mean,
taking.
I'd opened every one of those hands.
Yes, I know you would.
All right. Oh yeah, that's a pure fold. I like opening King 10 suited here. And he does. Fold, fold. A lot of times that's fuck. With Ace Jack off, I'm actually looking at their stats. If they're a decent player with reasonable ranges, I'm probably just folding Ace Jack off, to be
Yep.
honest.
It,
It just gets you in too much trouble. But I'm assuming our fishy friend villain 599 is gonna go ahead and open it. Or three bet it. Oh yeah, I'm 100% folding Ace Jack off against this player. But against this stat line. I mean, I know it's not a ton of hands, but yeah. So anyways, King 10 suited. Hey, I kind of mergy. Is it a pure call? Yeah, it is. I think it's a pure call, even against this kind of slightly bigger sizing, but I think I'm still calling it. Maybe
this
even
is a
considering four betting against some people.
yeah. This is a 4-bet in my arsenal. This hand.
Yeah, definitely. If I'm making the decision if I'm going to four bet, I'm looking at how frequently my opponent, if they're just going ham three betting out of position, or even three betting in position, if they're just very aggressively three betting, then for sure I'm putting in a four bet here. Um, if they're a three bet of 2% and they're just never folding to a four bet, then yeah, I'm just calling. Um, 31 hands, a 9% three bet. But it kind of
9%,
looks,
9%, 9%
yeah,
pre-flop raise, not 9% three bet. Did I read that wrong?
No, he's talking about
no,
different. Talking about this villain.
Oh, this guy. Yeah.
yeah, three betting 9%, but folding to a three bet 100. Now, granted, he might have only been three bet once and had a shit hand, but um, I don't know. Yeah, I think I elect a four bet here, probably more than a three bet, but I'm assuming that 596 is just going to call.
Yeah, they're never going to 4-bet this.
I want to give a
Uh,
really fast, I want to give a really quick speech about our short, when we have only a few hands on a guy. When we have 31 hands on somebody, you see that their VPIP is, what was it, 13? Yeah, he's a
9.
13-9. That means you should not be surprised that he's genuinely tight, but you shouldn't feel confident with that. But if he's a 72-11, you can be confident he's too loose. So
Yes.
even though 13-9 is low, it's not enough standard deviations away, and it's also much easier to have a string of 31 hands where you just don't have anything playable than to have a string of 31 hands where 80%, 70% is playable. Does that make sense?
If he was like a
Yeah.
45-35, that could be in the range of like he might just be on a heater catching hands worth opening. That's
Yeah.
kind of one of those where I need to see more.
Right. If he's down at, a 5% VPIP over 31 hands, you go, he's probably tight, but it's not surprising to get 30 hands in a row where you can only open one of them. It's not that surprising, but it's much more surprising to get 20 hands in a row that are all worth playing. 20 hands out of 30 that are worth playing. All right. Done with my speech.
That's why it's fucking looking all funky because he was hijack, not okay. Yeah, so yeah, that is way too. I'm like, I'm like, I got this as AJ is a pure open, but then I realized because I was looking at a button versus a button raise, yeah, versus a hijack raise. I mean, we're folding ace queen 70% of the off 70%. So yeah, so nice flop. As the three better here, oh, I I think I like versus in lower stakes versus some of these players. I got a good enough hand to continue. I don't think he's gonna have some queen jack, jack 10, king jack because they just love getting in there with that shit. Um, he may or may not have he doesn't have aces or kings. He may just flat with queens. We don't know that much about this guy yet, but I'm gonna bet. And honestly, I'm not gonna bet huge. I'm gonna see what he does. I'm probably gonna bet like a B30.
Yeah, so more like a range type bet, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go with probably like a B30 here.
He goes
Um,
B50.
yeah, a little bit more than I would have, but not terrible. I don't hate the bet. Um,
Raise.
ah, oh yeah, that's right. I gotta play both sides of the ball. I
Yeah,
think
assuming it's reasonable. Like if this guy has jack, jack five, we're not making you play a jack five.
right. Fuck, this might be a peel. I mean, I got a gut shot, an overcard, backdoor flush. Um,
This is appeal.
Me personally, if I end up here in game against a fishy player in position, I'm peeling for sure. Um, yeah, like I was saying, never folding, and I don't know if I'm ever going to consider raising here. Maybe I don't know. That's that's a tough spot. I don't want to get raised off my equity. Um, because a lot of these fishy players see top and they just want to pile stacks in, and I can never call off if it goes bet raise 3-bet. So I think it was just a call. Yeah, Scott, I do actually agree with that, Scotty. Sorry, looking in the chat, I think on the flop, if it was like King 10 with no backdoor flush draw or no flush draw at all, like obviously King 10 spades I might raise or King 10 diamonds. It's just with the hearts. I want to see one more, see what happens. But anyways, okay. Ace Jack off. This point, I might check and see what happens, but I don't. He's probably not going to do that. He is probably going to go with another B50. Oh, he checked. Okay. At deeper stack depths, I might go with a B60 here. Or actually like maybe like actually in position deeper stack depths, I would consider like a B30. See his response. If he calls, I might be able to steal one on the river. Fuck, let's go even at this stat. Go give me a B30 is what I would think. Ooh, and he
You're
does. Nice.
granted.
Good job. I don't think Ace Jack can fold yet, especially to a B30, which is and then he does that. Okay. Snap fold.
Hmm. Interesting. Okay, this is good. I like this. We're not going to
That
have
was a
ace
really
jack here.
weird play by the small blind.
Let's just so that we keep ace jack in the range. Let's run this. Ace jack may still not even be great here. Let's see. Ace jack. Oops, I meant to go here. Ace jack is okay. Yeah, good. Ace jack's there, and then king 10 suited continues. So this is good. This is kind of a good, interesting one here. We have Jack nine of spades, four of hearts. Okay, there's a range bet here, basically range for the most part, and it likes a big size. Scotty was on it with the bigger sizings, 50s, 75s. The 33s are
Oh,
less frequent.
one thing I will say, Mike, we're against the it was the hijack that opened, not the cutoff.
Yeah, I changed it to cutoff to give ace jack a little bit more to
Okay.
keep it in
More
range. You know what I
representation
mean?
in the three bet.
Yeah. What do you
You
think?
could
Do you
also
think that is gonna?
you could also do hijack and just give him the ace jack and give small blind the ace jack suited. But that this is fine.
Well,
And
because it does add other hands in range. What do you guys think is best?
let's play against a better opponent rather than this opponent.
Okay, so let's make it hijack.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the reason that I thought the bigger bet was what we learned from before was how often the small jack goes for the big bet when the board is wet and dynamic. And this board is the definition of damp and changing.
Okay, so we do check quite a bit more with we would have ace jack of clubs or ace jack of diamonds here, right? Is that kind of what we're going with?
Yep.
I mean, we do have slivers of ace jack off. So, it's there. He went B50, which is appropriate, but it still likes the bigger size, rather than the range bet kind of small strategy. It likes B50, B75. He went B50. And then our king 10 of hearts. Pure continue. There was some thoughts about raising, right?
This is the thing. The range never raises. That's what we
Yeah.
didn't catch. That's what we're not fun for constructing these ranges. Why does the range never raise? She's got what nuts do we have? We have nines and jacks.
Yeah, we have jacks. We have fours well represented.
We have a sliver of fours. We have a sliver of fours and a handful of nines. Okay.
Is it because we have that's weird.
Like even your nut.
See, what if he bets the small sizing if we get to add some more raises?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not many more though. We're still mostly calling.
Yeah, but this range looks more, and in this range, but still, even in this range, the king 10 suited never raises. Notice.
Right.
So, yeah, it just doesn't like to raise the king 10 suited. What gut shot does it want to raise? What's the bluff?
King
There is-
queen. We
He
just
sends out a
don't
gut
do-
shot. A lower gutter? We don't have a 10-7 lower gutter.
7-8.
7-8. 7-8. That makes sense. Yeah.
That's
When
that's
you
actually a double gutter.
uh,
But it's the like we got taught. It's the
backdoor.
diamonds
It's not a
and
double gutter.
clubs that raise.
Yeah, Mike, not a double gutter.
Oh no, you're right. Not a double
Gutter with a
gutter.
gutter with a backdoor to a double gutter, and then. But the real thing is this: when you get raised and you have 7-8, it's so easy to throw away. You're throwing away no equity. Notice the 7-8 of spades doesn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the two. So you don't throw away your backdoor equity. You throw away your single gutter equity. That's where we found that. That's where we found the king 10 construction. It was just pushed down to the 7-8. Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
The ace queen with a spade.
Sure.
Okay. All right. So good to see. We just don't raise. And what did we get? We got the
4 of spades.
4 spades. If we had our ace jack suited, it's checking pure. Ace jack, I mean offsuit. Now ace jack suited. What did he do in game? He checked.
Yes.
And then faced a B33 from king 10 of hearts, which was very appropriate. Actually, even smaller. Because Larry was talking about constructing the river bluff, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So this
Well, that's what we kind of. I said B33 jam river, but now that we look, I kind of do like the smaller. I mean, obviously, solver likes to go like B20, and then it's probably B20 jam river.
yeah.
Um, it's shaping it so that what B20 gives us 8.4. If he calls, that puts the pot to 50. Yeah.
58.
He calls 58, basically 59, giving us what?
And we'd have 70 on the river.
Yeah, so slightly more than a pot size jam. Yeah, I dig it. In game, like I would go third B33 just because why not get that if we think that we're going to be able to get the fold, it's still going to be a roughly pot size jam on the river, and we're going to get that 5 extra big blinds out of them. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
we're still it's sculpting things into kind of the roughly the same shape. Obviously the river jam is slightly bigger, but or the river jam when we B33 turn is a technically, I mean, is a slightly smaller bet, but I don't know that it's that much smaller that it's going to change our fold equity much.
So the small blind would then check their top pair.
It's a stab,
And-
Scotty.
And king 10 suited says all in. When you have the flush only, so it doesn't go for it. I mean, a little bit, it does a little, but not as much as we were thinking.
Right.
So it's probably more effective against humans, maybe.
Yeah, I would. I mean, computer's great and all. We learn a ton from it, but I mean, so much of poker is played against humans, especially, and I mean, obviously, it depends what level stakes we're at, right? Um, I don't know if I'm taking that line in like NL10 where they're just top pair, it's good. Let's get in for 200 big blinds a piece type players. But at NL 100 and above, 100 NL and above, like you're gonna see. I mean, people are just not gonna call down top pair on flushed out paired boards nearly as often.
One thing to take is that we see it a lot. In position raises are not common. So that
I
was
mean
Andy.
that check raise on the turn by the small blind was just that was wild sauce. Like that was nuts. Like homie's either he can see villain 596 whole cards, or he is just I want to be at every table he's at. That's the only two ways I could explain that.
Brandon, you are up. If you want to unmute and join, you can talk through this one.
Yep, I'm here.
All right. Go ahead, Brandon. So starting off here.
All right, that's a fold. Man. I guess 6-4 might raise it here, is what I'm assuming.
It's pretty loose. Like,
Yeah,
what would you
it's
do? The question is, what would you do with 6-4 in the cutoff?
I mean, it would be kind of game dependent. The game I play in, it's a lot of limpers and their ranges are really tight. So I mean, but
Yeah.
they're calling like almost any raise, even with any kind of gapper. So like even from the cutoff here, my like if it was a higher suited like gapper, maybe I probably would raise here. I probably would not raise this.
Yeah, this one is definitely out of the normal range. Now, you said some things that are pretty good. Like if you know that your opponents behind you are really tight, then you can start expanding your range. This
Yeah.
might even be close to an overexpansion, but if you know they're super tight, then yeah, you could probably really start expanding your range. You did say one thing that was kind of contradictory. You said if the players I play with are really tight, but then they call with
Raising range is
any
really
gapper.
tight, but their limping range is really wide. Like they'll limp
Oh,
as wide as like
yeah,
ace queen, but their raising range is already basically like jacks plus and maybe ace king, ace queen.
yeah.
If they three bet me, they just have queens plus. Like it's just like that. But here out of these three hands, I don't know who really raises. Maybe small blind, just because it's blind versus blind, I'm guessing. But I wouldn't raise 6-4 and I wouldn't raise Jack 3, to be honest.
So 6-4 is getting after it,
Yeah.
and
I got one question for you, Brendan. You,
Okay.
you said you might do some of the higher gappers and against your opponents. What's your cutoff there in the cutoff of the gappers? Is it 9-7 suited opens, 10?
Yeah, I'd say
Chat,
like a
where is it?
9-7, maybe like a 7-5. And
Seven
that's
five.
that's kind of pushing it, but really like 9-7 is probably like where I'll be like, okay, I can get in there. And if they call me, I got some equity.
I like 9-7. I think 9-7's a really good dividing line for the players you described. You don't get three bet very often, but they call a lot. Yeah, I
Yep.
like that.
all right. So here you are. You're in the big blind. You have ace jack offsuit. You're facing a cutoff raise. What do you like with ace jack off here?
I mean, with ace jack off, I probably would three bet this. I mean, kind of just going with the theme of the of what's going on, but I would three bet this just because if they four bet me, then I can kind of fold it out. I'm not suited, so it's like I got two premium cards, kind of. So I'd probably three bet this from the big blind. Looking to get called by maybe some weaker aces, maybe like ace 10 suited, maybe like ace 9 suited, someone who's just bound not to fold an ace. Maybe even something like king queen suited, and
Mhm.
kind of have a little more equity going to the flop.
Yeah. Oh, so okay. Well, we get this.
Right.
Good.
One other
I think
That
question,
is.
Brendan.
Yeah.
So when you don't raise it, are you folding it or are you calling it? Are you ever folding ace jack offsuit in that
I'm
situation?
absolutely never folding this. And that's
All right.
why it's like,
We're on the same page.
yeah, never fold.
all right. So here we are. We've got this little dinky. Now we're in the cutoff with 6-4. We raised 6-4 for good reasons, and here we get this little min raise. What are we doing?
Um, like I say, against the general player pool that I end up against, I'm folding this. But if it's somebody who I think can be a little bit splashier, there are a few, real loose players in there. I'm definitely going to come along for a call looking to try to see if I hit a flop. Because once again, with these pairs, they're not expecting me to have low cards. So on a low card board, I actually have more equity. But yeah, I say I would probably come along for a call, especially for something this small. So I don't see me folding this for less than a 2x raise.
Good. I think we're right on track. All right. So Ace Jack's done his little dinky, and then he jams. Okay. Well, there we go.
Yeah, that's done.
All
Need to
right,
start
Brandon.
playing on the I word.
Sam, you're up if you want to go.
Sure. Open.
That is interesting.
Let's do this since we know what's going on up front. So
But
here's
fold.
just always folding.
Ace queen. Do we want to call and then play out of position in a multi-way
In the
pot?
middle.
Want to? Do I want to four bet? I don't want to.
All right, good.
I love
Yeah.
the fold. I love the fold there, Sam. That's a snap fold. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
probably gonna Hollywood in a live game for, I'm gonna give it like a 10-15 count before I muck it. Just,
No, I don't even do that. I just snap fold.
All right, so your king's here, Sam, because this would probably be the only hand you would have in this
Oh,
group.
this is beautiful, man. We got a flatter, double flat.
See,
Not
you
a
got to
good
call
card.
ace queen off. You got to call ace queen off.
No, I'm not calling ace queen off. I'm not. I'm
just
just
now
not.
pounding the table like, damn it, I should have called.
No, I don't do that.
Me neither. But it's funny watching people that do.
Yeah.
Let's see. His range is really wide. Let's give him a little bit of rope. We're not folding this hand, by the way. Even if he has an ace, he has an ace. But this guy flats an open and then flats a three bet. So this is a fucking fish. I just want to go. What does my hand wants to do with this dummy? My hand wants to check. Snap him off. There we go. We lose.
That's why you play 3-4 off.
Yeah,
Yes.
that is totally fine.
All right. Next hand is for anybody else join. Looks like we got the same amount of people. Next hand is me. So I'm not going to play this hand, so we get to show the cards. And we got a king queen. That'll be a raise. And we're going to get 3-bet by tens. Yes, I would do it every time. So there's the 3-bet 9-5
I
fold.
was really hoping to see tens flat and the big blind with the 6-3 off 3-bet. That would have been sexy.
Yeah. King queen suited is, if that's me, we don't have any hands on villains, so we're kind of going off of unknown. I'm not folding. And to an unknown, I'm just calling. I'm not gonna 4-bet this.
In Something, I mean, obviously in JL land, he prescribes to against unknowns, we general and I agree with the calling in position when somebody I don't really know anything about, but he prescribes more to in unknowns, we just play as close to GTO as possible, which side note, actually the king queen is a pure call.
Hmm. Yeah, interesting that if it's
Thought
an
there'd be more four
unknown,
bets with king queen suited in there from up front, but I guess not.
it's interesting that he would be more tend to play more GTO versus unknowns and not kind of assume your unknown is typical player pool, which I guess this is 100 NL. And 100 NL, I mean, we've seen it. There's still the fishy players. The fishy players don't typically, their three bets are like this is a reggy three bet 11 to a 250 open, right? Like if he made it 14 or 8, then we can all automatically kind of be like, all right, I'm going to make some assumptions. I'm going to put him in the more fishier bucket. Whereas now he makes this 11 three bet from the small blind. It's kind of that's normal. I'm not giving this guy a fishy tag yet. I'm not giving him a
Agree.
reg tag.
I agree. He's gonna be like at the rim of the reg bucket.
All right, so we get this flop and villain. Well, let's see. So if I'm tens, I could be either one of these players. So if I'm tens here, this is going to be pretty close to a range bet. Do tens, if it's not a range bet, are my under pairs going to be some of these pairs that don't want to bet here? And I'm thinking queens, tens, jacks, nines, those hands that I've three bet might be the hands we want to check when we check. But we can also continue to range bet and we can deny equity from some hands that he has. We can get value from hands that he has. So this might be a range. This might be a range bet. If I had the 10 of clubs, I would absolutely bet.
So before we advance, again in peak, as a small blind three better on this flop, we are checking a massive 0.85% of the time.
Okay. Yeah. So it's a range bet in peak.
And we are mixing pretty evenly. Not pretty evenly. We are a B24 60% of the time and a B60 37.5% of the time.
Ah,
Our exact combo, spade diamond, likes to B25 78% of the time in peak.
yeah. Let's see how different. I'm going to go to the larger size. Let's be slightly bigger than 11, which tens here are going to do it probably. Yeah, there's some mixing. And then king queen suited. Okay, it has kind of a mix there. They call. And we had the king, three of clubs, king of diamonds. Let's see if there's,
I might have messed up because I think I put low jack for where the raise came from up all the way up front, not hijack.
yeah,
I know that'll change things a little bit. Plus, this is peak versus whiz.
not a whole lot of difference in strategy. It's a range bet, and the small size is the kind of preferred size, but there are some big sizes in here.
Yeah.
All right. So what does he do? If it were me, again, I said I'd probably be betting here range. If I had the club, absolutely for sure. They go to the B20, B33, B25, somewhere between 25 and 30. And now here we are with King Queen.
That's probably exactly a B, close to exactly B25.
Yeah.
Because Poker Tracker doesn't show minus rake here. So this is actual, like this hasn't calculated
Yeah.
where I mean all the sites, the rate comes out immediately. So our B25 would be what this is minus rake that's already been paid. So that's probably an exactly B25.
So in theory here, we're just not going to be raising a lot at all. Probably our entire range would not raise in theory. I would do some raising if this player was a bit of a whale or wreck, somebody like that. So I would definitely deviate in certain situations. In this situation here, I am just going to call this bet pretty much always. And they do the same. Oh, well, nice. Okay, nice turn. This could get tricky because small blind, our range still contains ace king, aces, queens. Queens is essentially essentially like pretty nutted because this player's not going to have aces and probably not ace king all that often. So with tens, probably just checking now and hoping and checking and calling, I'm thinking. We just
Yeah.
quadded.
So tens.
I have no idea how to play this, man. I'll tell you what, I guess I would just try to be getting some value and I would just bet here. And the size I would use, God, this is where I
Tens.
wouldn't know what to do.
So tens mix almost 50-50 between a B60 and a check on this turn. So we're still kind of in line with where we should be. Well, our specific combo mixes almost 50. Actually, yeah, some of the combos do change a little bit. Um, when
Yeah.
we have a club, we opt to bet a little more. Um, than when we like our specific combo bets. It's close to a 50-50 mix. And then, actually, wads checks almost pure here.
Yeah, I think I would probably tend to lean towards betting small, I guess, just to get some value. Again, it's unknown. If he was aggressive, maybe I'd check more often. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should bet small. I don't know. Yeah, it's
That's a tough
interesting.
spot.
They go small. That's probably where I'd be. I'd probably do something like this, B33, B25. If I was tens, I would call. They call. And if I was tens, I would check. And if I was kings, I would jam. They go with a like a B60-ish type size. And tens are like, fuck.
The solver mostly elects for a jam here, but I
To
get that
tens?
size. Like
To,
that's
to,
kind of that fear and greed. Like most real
wait, you're
players, like
saying pocket tens wants to jam?
no, tens check.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, king queen wants to jam here.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I would have done too.
And then you mean in solver land, it probably king's jam tens are probably a call. I haven't looked yet, so that is pure speculation. But pocket tens mix between our specific combo likes to call the jam 61% of the time. But he went with a B60.
Hmm. Yeah, if it were
So
me, I would kind of be in hell here. And again, unknown versus an unknown, man, I got to tell you, if I thought this player was good, like if I played with this guy and he was really good, I would call. If I if he's unknown and a wreck, somebody that I've seen kind of fishy, I think I'd fold.
yeah, it's a tough spot to be in with the tens. Oh, and he does find the fold.
What do you guys, any other thoughts? I know, Brendan, you've got some thoughts. You bet the turn, I think, Brendan, you said, right? You like a turn follow up here, a second barrel.
Yeah, I'll be honest. out of position on that turn, it would be hard for me not to find a follow-up bet with the tens because, and I probably would go small if anything, because if I get raised, then I know I'm in deep shit. But if I just get a call, I'm probably okay. Like I say, the run out with the 7 made it even more surprising that all the money didn't get in. But if I'm on the river with the 10s and then they jam, I know they have a full house at least, and I might not be good.
Yeah, you're still losing to jacks and queens.
Yeah, still losing to jacks and queens, and
Bluffs are going to be ace, queen, ace, jack of clubs, maybe some.
in a balanced game, yeah. In like a regular 2-5 game or something, there's 0 bluffs on that river. None.
Right. Yeah. The typical player is not bluffing pocket fours or 7, 8 of clubs, or which I think might be the bluffs that you use. Let's check it out. All right. King, queen in position. Pure calls. Good. Okay. So we were good there. Never raises. And we got the king of, well, the only other king available, king of spades and tens. Tens on down are checking, except we're starting to bluff these lower pairs. Jacks are still betting. Jacks with a club, particularly. And then queens again. We kind of talked about queens kind of already being your nutted single pair because they're not going to have aces. But anyway, he decides to check. And then king, queen, quads, pure check. Pure check, just like peak. I was going to bet if it was somebody who like was like a recreational type player. I tend probably just
Do you
over
think
betting.
it's a pure check because there is the front door flush draw there, and they're just maybe the computer's trying to let the small blind catch up?
Yeah. They went for that little bet, and the pocket tens do already start to fold a little bit. Like you said, the club is a significant factor, but they call, and then we get the 7 of whatever it was, hearts, I think.
7
And
of it doesn't fucking matter, but
yeah. So yeah, we said tens, and then let's see yeah, just jamming every king that you have. There is some other smaller B60 type bets. So let's jam. Let's see what tens do. Tens are gonna mix. They're indifferent, and to the 60. And they're kind of like that indifference, almost like a bluff too. Interesting spot. Okay.
well, you got to look at. I think we're looking at. Oh, you looked at if tens. Did you look at the line if tens check the river? Because you clicked the tens bet B60.
Oh, yeah, my bad. That's not good. Yeah, check. And then jam. So yeah, that's a good way to catch that. Now tens are just almost always folding, and then 60, it doesn't really change all that much. It's folding. Indifferent.
Small blind never donks, right? The river.
It did. No, it didn't.
It did.
So
Okay.
kind of
So
wild that versus the B60, the tens mix pretty close to call, jam, and fold. That's a little bit interesting.
Sam, were you thinking maybe a little dinky donk type of deal to get calls from
no,
worse?
no, 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 no. I'm just saying, like in live games, when you see a small bet on the turn, like if the small blind has a king, you see a lot more donks.
Yeah.
Like in your solver thing, they never donk. But so I'm just saying, like if you're in position here and you don't face a donk, maybe because there's less nutted hands in there, maybe it's a good idea to, just put all the money in as a bluff a little bit more often.
Yeah. Larry, you're up. Larry, are you there? All right, we lost Larry for a little bit. Andy, you're up.
I'm here. I'm
Oh,
here.
Larry's back. Okay.
It's like a tough one too.
So,
I'm glad Larry's back.
so it looks like it's a blind versus blind spot here.
Ooh, you got an open from the hijack.
Yes, this could get interesting. We might have a cold four or something here. So this you can certainly three bet king jack suited. And so queens is a cold four. It doesn't really have a flat range here.
Queens is gonna call 4-3 is gonna fold, and so King Jack's still out of position, is my guess.
Yeah, sounds right. So yeah, I would cold four here to about 18, 20.
Oh, you got the cold call.
Okay, I got the cold call. All right.
So
Always,
you're King Jack, Larry.
yeah. Okay, so
Life right now, you're really hating.
so I'm king jack here. I generally think queens are often in people's three bet calling range. Ace queen, ace queen off. I think people call a lot. Queen jack suited. King queen. But I think I would probably bet here, and I would probably bet the standard about 7 big blinds. So the dream flop so this is a huge error. We can all see why this is a huge error. Look at his equity. He's just done a tremendous favor to small blind. Small blind just folds.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a massive raise.
Yeah. Gents, never do that. Never raise the very, very top of range when you're in position.
Yeah, the stone nuts.
I mean, we can see
And-
his equity. He essentially had it already locked.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Okay.
poorly played.
All right. Andy.
Ooh, okay. Oh, this should be a fun one. We are gonna go fold, 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 open. We folded. It's on the edge. I can see a fold. I'm not gonna be mad at you. This is an open for sure. 2.5. Oh, he goes to 2. Okay, fold. I like a 3 bet here to 8.5. And we go small. Okay, makes sense. I get it. Fold. Call.
You always calling? Is this a pure call for you?
Against this sizing, this stack depth, I think it's gonna be villain dependent. If I could see his stat line, I might change my mind.
4 hands.
Oh, 4 hands, probably just a call.
What if he makes it his a normal size 10?
So I mean he at 10, it's more of a pure call. There's just so much of a 3 bet range has Queen Jack dominated. Ooh, I'm talking myself more into a 4 bet, but no, it's a call.
And you haven't said the fold word once yet.
No, oh hell no.
You would never fold it?
I mean, if they had if I had 1,000 hands with this player and they had a 1% 3 bet, yeah, straight to the muck.
What do you
But
think? What do you think theory does?
theory is gonna pure call.
Let's check it out. I think it's got folds.
You think theory has folds?
I think so. Was it cut off or hijack?
Cut off.
Yeah, Queen Jack probably has some folds there.
So I gotta make it 12, which definitely will have folds.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can make it smaller to 10. Okay. And then back to Queen Jack suited. Yeah, it's not great. So I just wanted to get that, put that in the back of your mind.
Hold on, in peak, it is the queen jack suited. It's a pure call on cutoff, and that's a 2.5 open versus a 10 big 3-bet.
Yeah. I wonder if we could even make it 2x. See if how that changes. And you know what? To the 2x too, by the way, there's a lot more they're flat calling in the small blind.
Yeah.
I don't
I mean,
know.
that changes.
Yeah, look at even like a lot of these hands we 3-bet are now calling, but let's 3-bet and get back to the cutoff and see if that changes. And it's even more just because of that range, I guess, because of your
Yeah,
calling ranges, you're not 3-betting as much.
right.
So interesting. Anyway, back to the hand.
Yeah, it's just kind of it's wild that like they're so different, right? So anyways, so we call, we're gonna see a flop. Um, I mean, obviously,
You
I think I have to.
you
Fuck,
could
do I
be
have to
both
bet
of these
here?
players, Andy.
Um,
So now you play it
I'm
as
gonna go
King
with a
10 right now.
B33. I like
He
a
goes he went
B50,
B50.
a little bit more than B50, but weird. I think it's just a pure fold. He let me off the hook by betting out so much.
Yeah, I agree. I think you're right. I think that's now a fold. If
Yeah,
he goes B,
I have zero desire to float this at that size. If he goes like a B25, I might have to consider a
mm-hmm.
I float one time and see what happens, but at that sizing, I don't want to float.
I'm with you. I
Um
think Queen Jack should be folded there. And then even to a B33, it's probably like very, very questionable.
yeah. Um
All right, so you're
but
King 10.
anyways, here we are. King 10. I kind of like at this point with King 10, I don't think I'm good, maybe good enough for 1.5, 2 streets of value. I'd rather go check here and assess, see what they do. If they check back, I can get an extra street on the river. If they bet, I can go into defense mode. So I'm checking.
Okay.
I just
Let's
don't
see.
love my kicker at this point.
On my peak, I think I can actually make it closer to the original 3-bet size and open size. You wanted to look at that. Just letting you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, we'll do that. Let's do
How
that
on
after.
your peak, you have different options?
I don't know what the hell it is. I have the 3 one where I get a couple of hands a day and it lets you open to 2.3 and then small blind can raise to only 8.1. And what did he raise to only like 7? So it's closer to the
Is
10.
that on tournament, Brian?
You know what? You might have just nailed that one.
It is because
No,
they're
oh yeah,
cash.
it is. Okay, yeah, it
Yeah.
is. So
So the
mine.
tournament opens and 3-bets are going to be a little bit different because there's annies and no rake.
It is a lot
So we
closer
have
though,
to.
but I guess it's not the same.
Yeah, the ranges will be totally different.
Let me see.
So you're facing a B50 after checking the turn.
Oh, it's not. I mean, I checked with the plan to call a bet and assess.
Mm-hmm.
He's just going to give me my second street of value, so I'm going to call.
Yeah. Okay,
I can't
good.
fold yet. That would be silly. I've just been downgraded to basically a bluff catcher, so I'm going to check and see what happens. Oh, see, that's just about the sizing where I have to tank. Um,
And unknown, you got 4 hands. He's played 2 of them.
how aggressive has he been? A 3 factor. Oh, not super high, but not the lowest of the low.
It's only 4 hands though, Andy.
Right. Um, this would be a tough spot. At this point, I may have to consider folding. Um, it's just not a great spot to be in. B50, fuck. It's just a good price though. I don't know if I can
It's
ever fold
actually
at that
less than
price.
B50.
Yeah. I don't know if I can ever fold that price is the problem. I think B60 I could fold, maybe even slightly above B50. Fold gets a lot easier. I think I have to call actually.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. I would probably
I
call
think I
here.
have to. I just I mean his one bluff is there. Like the only real bluff he had is an ace high. Like his one bluff got there. Everything else, oh fuck. Yeah, I call.
Yeah.
I call before I change my mind.
And I don't think you would be too wrong for folding. It's just that your pot odds, I think, are too good, I think.
I mean, what he doesn't have any bluffs. That's the issue. Like ace high, that's it. If he's turning ace high into a bluff on the turn and then it got there on the river, um, so I don't think two pair, like at worst he has king, queen, king, jack. But he also has some king nine, king eight suited. He has some jacks, some tens that may take that line. Yeah, at that sizing, I think I have to call. Which obviously we did and we won. So
Yeah, I think
hooray
he's
for me.
got more bluffs than he has aces because, like, I think doing your hand reading, if it were me anyway, I wouldn't think he's betting his king jacks and his king queens on this river. I think he checks behind. And so I think that takes a lot of his value away, meaning he has more bluffs. Sure, he's going to show up here with ace queen, ace jack of clubs, ace jack of hearts, some ace X of whatever, and you're going to lose sometimes. But I think the pot odds were enough where he has enough more bluffs to justify calling that river bet. Brian, you're up. Brian, did we lose you?
I'm here. Oh, wait, there it is. Can you hear me?
We hear
Yeah,
you
I
now,
got you.
Brian.
All right, where am I? That's gonna be a fold, a tough one. Fold, fold, open to
Yep. What's your size? What are you open to?
0.5. Can you hear me?
Maybe I think you were cutting out. I only heard 0.5 there. That's a tight fold right there, guys. That's really tight. And
Yeah,
A
that's interesting.
super tight fold.
considering
Okay.
his numbers, that's really strange.
Well, I guess I folded that and then I fold that and definitely opening there to 2 point up 3 works.
Yeah.
Fold.
Okay, that's a bad call.
Okay, and then fold from 6-5
Bad call.
and
We're
definitely.
gonna see the giant squeeze with 2-7.
Well, for
Yes.
fun, there it is. That's awesome.
And I say giant squeeze, and it's actually undersized. It's
So
exactly right size, maybe a little small. I might bump it up 1.5 big blinds or so to like a 19.5.
Mhm.
That's awesome. I like that guy. I can be friends with him.
so king nine. I mean, I feel like I wonder if there's any three. I feel like there might be some four bets there, but I'm not 100% sure. I need to work on that. Hmm, obviously he calls, but I feel like you can. I feel like this is one of the hands that because I think what is it? It's usually ace five, ace four, and then you specifically, Mike, you do king six, king seven, and queen nine, and
Oh, no,
queen
no,
eight.
no. That in that situation we were talking about earlier, that is when I'm in the big blind versus a hijack open.
Oh,
Those are
okay.
my three bet bluffs. Yeah, this is definitely doesn't apply here.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure that there are some. I think you either fold or four bet bluff with king nine. I'm pretty sure. But I mean, in this situation, I can see it as 7-2. So yeah, I would make the four bet bluff here. I wouldn't be calling.
So you would four bet now? And what size?
Shit. What is the right size? Like what? 36, something like that.
Probably closer to 45, 46,
Is it okay?
maybe
That's good.
51 because of the dead money.
So if
Yeah,
you're,
how do you figure that out with the dead
so if
money?
you're going that big, then what you probably should do is just jam.
Yeah, that's true. Pretty much all in either way then.
Your
Yeah, I
minimum,
usually opt for 2.5 plus dead money.
When
so
you're in
you'd be
position.
putting in half your stack, Andy.
Yes. So yeah, it would be a jam.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
But if he was
jam
asking the exact specific size, I would say
2.5 plus dead. Okay. Yeah, it's a lot easier to see the cards, but yeah, I guess jam.
Yeah.
In my
Now,
game personally, I would fold, but
yeah, I don't think any of us should be 4-bet bluffing king nine suited here.
is there any? I could have sworn there are some.
There is, but I don't. King nine definitely isn't going to be one of them. It's going to fall into. I mean, ace king is almost considered a bluff at this point.
Uh,
We'll look at it. But you're not going to find any king X jamming here other than ace king. But you got a flat, and you got a flat here. Six,
uh,
7 should be
fold
fold.
and fold.
All right, so let's play a flop. Well, this is kind of bad because you wouldn't be. I don't think you'd be here, Brian.
No,
So
I would have folded.
yeah. Um,
He's gonna blast. I mean, in this situation, I guess it's a
you almost feel like you have to, right?
yeah.
If
You
you're in
kind
this
of have to.
situation,
I think, and honestly, I don't like blasting like big as much as I would in this situation. I would do what you're kind of supposed to do and bet like
yeah,
probably 15, 16, make it look strong still instead of just blasting all the way through.
right. Yep. Like a B20 would be like 9. B25 would be like 11. A B33 would be like 13-ish.
Yeah. To probably, yeah, I'd probably go with the 13 size though.
He checks, and we won't make you decide what you need to do here because it's kind of ridiculous right at this point. Let's just see what these players are doing.
Now
And
you got so much equity, you have to blast.
like neither player, I mean, if one guy picks up a pair, he's actually probably not incorrect. So
What the hell has happened? I'm gonna fold.
and remember, this guy folded king queen.
Yeah, that's the
That's really weird. All right, Brendan. Brendan, you're up if you want to take
Sir,
the next one.
I'll take it. Yeah, that last hand was more like my game. People
Yes,
folding king
sir.
queen, a lot of limpers.
And real quick, there is some king nine suited 4-bet bluffs on that, at least
Really?
on peak. That's what I
Well,
just saw.
does it have all those calls in between too?
The closest I can make it is with a call from the button, a fold from the small blind, and then a raise from the big blind. And it has a sliver. It is 3%.
No shit.
It's there. That's at least on peak.
Let's see if we can engineer this.
Oh, oh,
Call.
and then
Slightly bigger raise, but oh, look at that. Yep. Jamming king nine slivers.
It's all in. There it is.
kind of figured that king six would be in there. I don't know why the solvers like king six and king seven suited so much, but those
Yep.
are like the go-to bluff raises that I see all the time.
That's nuts. I was expecting maybe to see the ace five or something, and then maybe something in here. But yeah, that's awesome. All right.
Real world though, never. No, not doing it.
All right, Brandon, take it away.
All right. Fold. Should be a fold. Fold. Opening ace queen. Probably a flat from the jack nine.
Is that you're saying like in theory go ahead and flat, or are you saying
No,
you
I'm
would
saying
flat?
that's probably what they're going to do. In theory, it should be a fold.
Yeah, good. Okay. Yep.
Queen 7 should fold, and I mean, to be honest, King Queen should probably just flat here.
Yep. They
But
do
they
decide to three
raise.
bet, and they do the little mini three bet again, a little dinky three bet.
Yeah, and once again, that just kind of throws me off. But I'm never folding Ace Queen. I'll just flat that in position.
Now, let's say,
Are you
Brandon, if
well, are
he
you
makes
folding
it,
to a real 3-bet size?
yeah, that was going to be my question.
Okay, to a real 3-bet size, like say they go like what, like 12, 10, 12?
Yeah, let's say 10
10 or
minimum,
12.
and sometimes you're going to see 11 or 12.
I would say I'd probably go maybe like 60-40. I'm probably still in there with Ace Queen, Ace Jack. I'm out of there to like a really decent size one, especially from the big blind. But Ace Queen, I might float the flop, see where I'm at.
Okay. In theory, you're not going to call ace queen off there to these positions in a real three bet.
Okay.
You can four bet it.
Okay. So this would be more, but like Ace Queen suited, I'm flatting because I have more equity.
Yeah. Yep, for
Gotcha.
sure. And just to illustrate it, we'll just throw it in here. Let's give it the smaller three bet or open size. I think he even went two, right? Let's just do that. It was hijack. We got the big blind. Here's the big boy raise. And then ace queen off is just, four betting when you continue, never calling.
Either four betting or folding. Okay, yeah. See those four bet ones, it's like I never get that far because it's like once it's a three bet in there from somebody else, you're basically four betting to your death. So it's like you can't bluff on the four bet. So it's like it's kind of hard with the four bets. I haven't dealt too much with those, but yeah, okay, that makes sense though.
Now you can, exploit if this player in particular is somebody where you can call ace queen suited in some spots, but you're doing it because you know this player has a really wide range. Like
Right.
so, but in theory, to the ranges that at least GTO Wizard uses for three betting, you just don't want to be calling ace queen off because you're dominated so often.
Gotcha.
But he went small here, so this is a situation where, and you're looking. Here's their HUD stats on this player: 14 hands only, not very many hands, but you see some numbers here that should maybe ring some bells.
Yeah.
And I don't think calling ace queen here is bad.
No, not for that price. Like you say, if it's higher, I'm thinking about it. But
Yeah.
like, yeah.
All right.
Quick,
So we
quick
can.
sidebar. For Brendan, do you play mostly online or live?
Um, I prefer to play live. I play online some on GG, but mostly tournaments online. I don't really play too much cash online.
So if you said you played on GG, then my next question is kind of because I was going to ask if you play mostly online, do you use a HUD? And the reason I asked that because it came up a couple sessions ago, and I never think about it because I use one, but like when Mike said like based on his HUD stats, and some people if they don't use HUDs are going to be like, what the hell are you guys talking about?
Right.
So if anyone's in here that when we say, oh, looking at his HUD stats, this is what I think, don't feel shy to so Brian in the chat, don't feel shy to like speak up, pipe up, and be like, what the hell are you guys talking about when you say based on their HUD stats?
Well, I know they
Um,
are, and I understand some of them, but I mean, like, I couldn't. I don't know, like in depth.
so if it's ever a question, just ask because I know that sometimes we had a few sessions ago, we had somebody who like we were talking about, their VPET PFR and like see, and they were like, I don't know what the hell you guys are, what these things mean.
My only question is the different. What's PR? And I know VPIP is voluntary, put money in pot, but what's PR then? Is that just
Pre-flop
when you
raise.
raise? When
Yeah.
you do, so they're calling. It's how much they're playing in general, and then how much of the time they're actually raising.
Yep. Mhm.
Okay.
So he's kind of a passive player. Is He's raising a lot too. Um,
He's
but
playing a shit ton of hands. Now we
yes,
have to be careful because it's only 14 hands, and you know, practically it's going to be hard to play over half your hands in an orbit and a half without playing a really wide range. Now, is it theoretically possible he got all good hands? And yes, it's yes. Once we start getting up into, over 50, 60, 100, and then when you're on sites where people aren't anonymous and you gather thousands of hands, that becomes very telling as to how, somebody might play.
yeah, like on stars. I mean, I have opponents that I have 20K hands on.
Would you
Mm.
I was gonna say, what do you guys, because I'm looking at getting into some HUDs and stuff soon. What do you guys, what would you say is enough hands? Because mine's anonymous, enough hands to see how many, like to have a good sample size.
Yeah, it really varies. So like this, what you're watching here is from an anonymous site, as we know. Um, once I once you start getting, oh, and it kind of depends. But Scotty actually made a point earlier when we had somebody that had like 30 hands isn't even all that much at all. But when you see somebody with 30 hands that has a HUD stat with something like this, like 30 hands, this guy has 50 hands and he's playing 40, 33, three betting 20%. These are like ridiculous numbers for even 50 hands. Often a telling thing is the difference between how often they play and how often they raise. So, for example,
Oh, 2 6 21. It looks like he's got some more telling numbers too.
and you know what's funny is this is me. So, what this tells me is that in these 49 hands, I've just had a really good distribution because I'm not playing trash and I'm raising when I have good hands and that sort of thing. So this is kind of to the point of even 50 hands is kind of like hard to determine if the stats are really accurate for the player because this is nowhere near what I play. I would probably be at a full ring if you looked at my 100,000 hands on this site. I'm probably at like 2320, like ish, something like that.
We're like, go hover on 619. He's 17 hands. This is kind of illustrating he's a 12-0. 12-0-0. So he played basically two hands. It doesn't mean that it's more of an indicator that he's super tight. Then or yeah, if this was like at 17 hands, a VPIP of 70, that's more of an indicator that okay, this guy's loosey goosey. But the VPIP with a low hand count of like 12, that 12-0 doesn't necessarily mean that's less telling than if it was like 70-50.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I can sit down at a table and fold for 3 orbits straight just because I haven't got anything. So it's like,
Yeah. If you when you get into running a HUD, it depends. I mean, I'm in Michigan, so I can play on stars where it's not anonymous. So I can rack up huge hand histories on players. Generally, I start to once I have at least 500 hands on a player, then I'll actually start. I'll pull them up as the hero so that I can see and I'll start actually looking at their play at 500 hands and start taking notes on things I see when I'm away from the table.
mm, okay.
I just put in chat another screenshot that I took a while back. Those were my stats at a, totally different table. Same number of hands was over here, and I hadn't played a single hand.
Feel lots of loose.
And here's another one of somebody that you're going to run into. If you can see that one in chat, 98-18 over 50
This
So
hands.
you
is
play
and so
Bovada too.
to Scotty's point, the second one is a lot more telling than the first one.
Yes.
Gives us more information on the player than than your 0-0. Because that just means the player could be card dead. It doesn't necessarily mean you're a nit. It just means you haven't gotten a playable hand yet. We're at 49 hands with a 98. It means they're seeing every flop and barely
Every
ever
flop.
raising.
Just a straight calling station.
Yes. I mean, his limp fold is 13%.
Oh, I
And
like
then
that.
his post flop aggression, and he's obviously fairly aggressive after the flop because he's running at a 7.1.
Yeah.
So he's the kind of player, he hits a pair or draw, he wants to bang.
What's a
Yeah.
high aggression factor?
Aggression factor typically is going to start getting high when you get over like 2. One is kind of and the formula for aggression factor is when they have an action and they take an aggressive action. It's a ratio of how often they take an aggressive action versus how often they take a passive action. And so when you get aggression factors that are +2 or 2 and above, that's starting to get pretty aggressive. And 1 and below is kind of normal or even kind of passive.
This is a really surprising stat to see. 98 and a 7.1. That's a funny combination.
Oh, I see it all the time.
Yeah.
Sorry, you can keep going, Brendan. Just
All right. So I mean, with this one, I 3-bet. I made top pair in the big blind. I'm donking on this. I'm leading.
Yep. C betting.
Yep.
He goes B50.
And I mean, me with the ace queen, I shouldn't be in here anyway. I should have folded to the 3-bet, but I'm assuming they probably call, but this should maybe fold sometimes here.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Brendan, the kind of talking about what we were talking about with HUD stats. So this player over here in the small blind who 3-bet us small, and we called with ace queen off because it was a small 3-bet. And
Right.
maybe we think this player is doing this a little wider than normal. And so
You
I
have
don't think
zero
your ace
C
queen
bet.
call here is necessarily bad. I think it's probably okay considering the limited information we have on this player.
Right.
Um, but now that, yeah, like you said, now that we're facing a B50 and we have ace queen,
Yeah, like I would be more inclined to fold here simply because they're betting half pot and they're leading half pot. And they also, looking at the HUD stats, they have a 0% C bet. So now they're continuation betting. Once again, not a lot of history on them, but they're trying to get money in the pot. So I would lean closer towards a fold, especially being that I don't have a diamond. If I had maybe the ace of diamonds, I might float. But yeah, I'm probably folding this.
good. Yeah, I think that's pretty sound. I think that's pretty sound. I think ace queen here is going to be really, it might be, I think if we were to somehow node lock this with a range that we think this player is doing this with, I think it might be indifferent and you could call or you could fold, and I think it would be fine either way. And the diamond would definitely be something that takes you over the top and you'd almost always call there. But yeah, good. I think that's good stuff. And Sam is gone. Scotty is back. Scotty.
I'll do one before the client comes here. Let's see. Uh, Too early for Jack 9 suited, but some people will open it. This is you. I don't think you're opening. I think you're folding that. So the queen 3, queen 3, 5, 2 fold. King Jack suited open raises for his normal size. 8, 5 folds and 3, 5 suited should not fold. He should defend. Now, does he ever defend by raising in the GTO world against the button? 3, 5. I think there might be a sliver of it, but I don't think there's any reason to find it, and he does. But he finds it, and he still finds it for the small size. And that's the thing I really dislike. I think if you're going to take this, you definitely want to do the full size 3-bet on it, I think. All right, so he does it. King Jack suited in the button, never fold. Any 4-bets with this? Yeah, you could. I don't. I don't know if GTO does, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna call here. Take a flopping position.
Jared doesn't.
Okay. Uh, so I got here hoping I would get a fold with my 3-5. This board hits all of Broadway for the 3-5. I think it is time for him to give up. He has bottom pair, which is often a bluff. But he didn't pick up a club. I think it's time for him to just check lose. Let's see what he does. Oh, and by the way, I don't think he's going to. I think he's gonna fight for it, because if you raise with 3-5, you fight for it. This is so easy for King Jack. Never raise, never fold, just call. No other choice for him. Even better. Let's see if the threes are gonna go for there. Now you don't have as many kings, so I'll represent it. He doesn't, he checks. Your king is vulnerable to ace queen and ace jack, which are out there. Let's get some value from them. We want to be all in on the river. So let's first look at what 2E is. So yeah, there's I don't think there's a good reason to jam here and make it easy for him to get away from what he has. So 2E is going to be, if we bet 20, there'll be 60 in there, and if we bet 20, there'll be 80 in there, and he'll have 60 left. So 2E is slightly over 20. And I think that what he has is, I think he has a lot of Broadway draws here. And when Broadway draws and some lower pair kind of thing. And when he has his Broadway draw here, I would like to get some of the money now when he does call. So I'm going to oversize I'm going to do 2E, but I'm going to inflate the front end of it. And I'm going to go 25 to 30. I'm going to go 25. Okay. So he goes 14, which being a third is a nice thing to get the guy to call with everything. I mean, that's a good size for that. But when the 28 more goes in, when this guy calls when he ends up with 64, the pot will then be 28, 71. And so I'm going a third, and then I'm going jamming. Let's look at one, but do not meet other order. Okay, he goes 14, and the guy folds his 3, and we're done. And time to get on the plane. Thank you for the hand.
See you, Scotty.
Okay.
All right, very good. Scotty, then we are
With the
back
hit
to
and
the
run.
top of the list. One thing Scotty didn't mention was he mentioned the hands that he was vulnerable against, but we also don't have the nuts here.
No.
Which, like, yeah, obviously we see his cards, right? And we're betting for value, obviously. And I think if we get jammed on here, we're just never folding, but
We're losing sometimes.
yeah, that's what I was getting at. I guess what I was trying to think through is if we could ever think about folding, like, and the answer is no. I was just trying to think through it.
So let's say you made the small bet, because that's the one that's easiest to fold to, right? You bet 14 and he jams.
Yeah.
How good do you? Yeah, we lose to ace, king, king, queen, king, 10, 10, 10. Those are the obvious ones we lose to.
Yeah.
Let's figure one of them.
And then we got to think about what they're bluffing with, or maybe overvaluing. Maybe they're overvaluing king 9.
Hard for them to have king 9 next 3-bet. Not a lot of king 9 3-betting in the world. But the smaller we bet, the smaller we bet, the more we incentivize the check raise. The bigger we bet, the less money we have behind a fold. I think it's time to go. I think it's just sometimes you go broke.
Yeah.
I think let's go broke.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I would think the smaller you bet, if they check raise you, they have more bluffs than if you bet, say, like B60 and they jam. you're almost
Exactly.
never good.
Right. Yeah, I totally agree. That's why that's that problem is you bet small to leave yourself enough to fold, and so the check that incentivizes the check raise. You bet big to make their check raise honest, and now you're pot committed.
This is just a spot where it doesn't matter what we bet. If they check raise jam, we're just kind of call it off, and then when we see he's drawing dead, we're fist pumping.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, because it is what it is, right? I mean, if he has a king, does he ever stop betting on the turn? Probably not.
So the pot would be 670, 72. We have he would have 60 behind. And it would be a 60 into 72. If he would have to be a donk jam. He would donk it, which I think might be even a little bit more frightening. If he were to come off the river here on a like a two of clubs and donk jam 60 into 72. But we're not folding, right? Nobody, we're not still not folding. All right, top of the list is me. Did anybody come back? No. All right, we're continuing. Everybody's still good? Keep going. Fold, 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 fold. 10-8 is in my range. I would open 10-8 here. And they fold. Okay, so we're going to get a blind versus blind situation. Ace Jack, I'd open. And Ace 4 suited, interestingly enough, would be a 3-bet here for me. So they do it. And Ace Jack off. When I get 4-bet with Ace Jack off, kind of probably depending on the player. And again, not too many hands, but the player has been playing well in these 11 hands. And this would become a 4-bet at a pretty decent clip against this guy with 11 hands and these numbers. I would make it 21. They flat. So Ace Jack gets here after calling the 3-bet. We're not going to donk. So check Ace 4 of hearts. This would be one where I would probably just check back here. I love having the 4 of hearts as a little backup to some of the other ones. Yeah, I think it could be exploitable, but I would check back here.
I like the
He
check
goes,
back there.
he goes small, which I think is just fine as well. He's gets called.
Ooh, 622. Good work, buddy.
I wonder about raising here though. Now if I'm ace jack, right? So we've flat called. We get a what is essentially probably going to be kind of a range bet situation. And if it's a range bet situation, it's probably better to just call. Whereas if you think he's got more value, then we want to raise. I would, and this guy has, and again, I'm kind of, if I've already pegged him to be decent, and I would have 4-bet, but here I am, I called, and I peg him to be pretty decent. I probably just call. I think calling here is just fine, or raising, either way. So he winds up calling. Now we have to, still not going to donk anything. This is not going to be a donking strategy here. Ace 4, I would definitely be checking. They do. And we get here, and now do we lead with our ace jack? Jack of hearts is a nice card to have to be betting for value now, as opposed to check calling. And yeah, I would be betting for value. Now, the sizing, do we want to go for kind of thick value? Do we want to go for thin value? If we ever get check raised, what are we worried? It's kind of tough. I wouldn't be happy about a check raise. I don't think I'd be able to fold though, but I don't block any straights. This would be tough because now I'm facing a player I've kind of pegged as probably pretty decent. So I'd go B60. I'd kind of I wouldn't go for a block. I'd go for a B60 would be my sizing. And they kind of go B75, B80. And if I were ace four, which I could be ace four here. This just feels like it should be just a fold. If I had ace four, yeah, I would be kind of kicking myself, but I think I would fold. And they fold. Any objections? Seem pretty standard. How about river? Oh, yeah, okay. Larry. Larry, are you back? We'll move to Andy.
I'm here.
All right, Larry, take it away, buddy.
Yeah, sorry. Short stack should open ace four suited. Three bet. I would just still use the regular size, like 11, 12. Ace four can flush shove or fold.
Yeah, what do you think with his let's say you got stacked the previous or lost a big hand and couldn't reload in time, and here you are with ace four. Would everything be the same so far?
Yeah, I'd open it. Now he faces three bet.
Would you open it for
think-
three? Would you change anything because you're short stacked?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I would open to three. I mean, I could see why you would want to open to less, but I think I'll just open to three.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he can fold or bluff shove. It's his options. And calling is worse, which he likely will do. Yes.
Yeah, that's the worst option for sure.
So now his SPR is just ridiculous. In these situations, if I was out of position, I would just put him in.
Yeah, I think I would too.
Sometimes he's gonna have it, but
And I advanced. Would you ace four? Are you doing anything?
he just got checked to me. My SPR is 1. I think I'd do the same. I just put it in. All right. So I don't know. I guess if I checked flop, I would check again. And he's in a really awkward spot. His four is with a lot more at the stack depth.
Guys, I'm at that spot there. Guys, I'm at that spot there. Okay, no problem.
I would probably call our shop. Those are your options.
Yeah. It's tough. We fold.
I
Interesting.
fold, sir.
Okay. Andy.
Okay. Open jam 3-5 off.
Huh.
ISO jam queen 4 off. Fuck it, call 10 deuce off. But AJ off, I'm actually gonna, open to 2-5
Okay.
or 2, I guess. It's one of those days. King 9 is pure fold, not even considering it. Offsuit sometimes from the big blind against a normal open. I probably mix between calling and 3-betting. Obviously I know we're gonna 3-bet, so let's 3-bet to I like an 8.5 sizing here versus a 2 big blind open, but I'm guessing they're not gonna go that size.
Oh God. Okay.
Like I probably mix close to 50-50, honestly, on call 3-bet. And my my randomizer there is odd, open, even call, where I look at the clock. If the minute hand is odd, I raise 3-bet, or even I fold or call. But anyways, we have the limp dick 3-bet. Now we know because of a little bit of our MDA. Oh, and looking at those numbers, I can never fold because of the sizing, but to a real size, I might consider folding. Dude hasn't raised yet, and now he's 3-betting. Unfortunately, I have to call it off. I'm never 4-betting against those numbers, but I'm definitely calling up. All right. Ace Queen. Oh, we're gonna go B100. Nice. Dude knows he's just clicking the buttons that are available to him. He's not even thinking about sizing or anything. So Ace Jack against this player I'm not even entertaining calling.
Yeah, I think so either. Yeah, that should just be fold. You had mentioned if he'd made it, let's say 10, right? Like a
Yeah.
normal size. What are you doing with ace jack in the cutoff?
Ace Jack off in the cutoff. Now are we saying the same player stats who actually just knows how to size, or are we saying general
Yeah,
against maybe a player that we would consider a solid reg?
answer to both.
Against this player, a larger sizing is Instamock.
Good. How about versus somebody who's GTO?
Versus somebody who's GTO. I think it is I think I'm gonna mix. I'm either gonna mix or leaning towards pure fold. I hate ace jack off. It gets you in so much trouble. Fuck,
And
I
you're
don't know.
mixing between what? Between folding and
Calling.
calling. Never 3-betting?
Probably like I'm
I mean,
gonna like a 25% call, 75 fold. And again, that mix is more player dependent. So when I look at a player's stats, if they're a little more aggro, a little more 3-bet happy, I'll find a call. But I think my general go-to, if I don't know anything about the player, is fold.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fold, and I don't think it's ever going to be a call. I think it's always going to be fold or 3-bet. I'd like to check it out because I'm not sure, because ace jack might be like that
Bink,
threshold.
bink, bink. Yeah, it's a pure fold.
And it came from the small blind?
Big blind.
Big blind? It goes with versus the 12. It's definitely going to be a fold. Let's see, can we make it smaller?
Yeah,
Can't
in
make
peak,
it-
obviously they don't offer the 12, but in peak it's a pure fold. Like you don't even need to think about it unless you want to be an asshole and Hollywood it.
Wiz has little slivers of 4-betting, but yeah, it's just not something that you want to call for sure. And versus a small blind raise, yeah, just
Actually slightly more, but still predominantly fold.
Brian.
I'm here. Fold, fold.
Oh,
Fives open.
you're gonna get a BVB.
And I mean, if there is 3-bets here, I didn't know they were there, but I would probably just flat.
Yeah, okay, this is unusual because of this 2x. I did 3-bet it, and there was a reason. This strategy of min raising the small blind is something that I've seen has been pretty prolific. And I think it's sort of a MDA strategy where they just know people can't defend um, the versus min raises like this well enough. And the exploit is you can just 3-bet them like crazy, which is what I did here. Now, whether that worked out, I don't remember, but it's a strategy that's kind of been talked about quite a bit amongst streamers and coaches and that sort of thing. He calls. I was gonna say we could do a different one because this is getting kind of out of the weeds a little bit. And we can see, I'm just curious how this worked out.
Come on, don't we, exactly, I wanna see it go wrong for you.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, I got a good flop, so probably goes easy.
Unless you get bluffed.
I did check. And yeah, I think that's all there is to it. Okay.
To see 624 check raise the turn on you and really put you in a blender.
Yeah, I was not folding. So this must be that same table where I saw those other stats. I'm a little bit of a maniac at this table, apparently. All right, this is heads up. Let's do this one, Brian.
And fold, open to 2.53. Oh, there's dead money, so yeah, 4 is good. Fold, queen 4, cold, fold, 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 and obviously 3 bet. Probably maybe a little bigger. And they were 13 to 15, probably closer to 15.
Okay, yeah.
15.
Like a
Ace.
17.5 there, but
So ace queen. I know we just went over this. It's basically either 4 bet or fold. I'm assuming this guy calls. I would. Yeah, I mean,
Be honest with yourself, Brian. If you hadn't listened to any of this, what would you have done if you were playing today?
honestly, in the games I play, everybody they 3 bet so they under 3 bet so much that I've been getting away from ace queen more often. But I would say I would probably make the call here.
Yeah, okay, good. And you're right that especially if they're under 3 betting, this is absolutely a fold.
I've been finding the ace queen fold more often, but probably not enough still.
And you're even in pretty early position, like you're all the way back here past the low jack. So yeah,
His range should be super strong.
yep.
Yeah.
All right.
If you don't learn all the ranges, just learn that the ace queen, that when you're near the front, ace queen folds 100% of the time. And when you're in the button in the cutoff, ace queen doesn't fold so much. Just learn that and then refine it later.
And there's probably nothing about this HUD stats that should tell you that you can deviate and make thinner calls or that anything. So it should just be a fold here. But he calls, and you're going to
What was
play
the
it
thing
as
that we left at?
Okay,
Oh, when the thing's validated.
I think you're supposed to bet. I think you could actually maybe bet a little bit bigger here since the board's so connected.
Yes. No, it's like a Volkswagen.
Maybe like half. I would say 15. That could be way wrong, but I would say bet like 15 with the kings.
Okay. They check. I think I could be wrong here too, because this one's tough because they shouldn't have ace queen. So its theory is going to have, some. I think it's going to be checked quite often. And then when we do bet, it would be bet small. And if I were to guess, if anybody wants to take any guesses at our check frequency from
front.
Yeah, from the big blind here on this flop versus an early position caller. I'm thinking it's probably at least 50%.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we've got. Yeah, I don't
So
know.
I looked at it on
Don't
peak.
tell us. Don't spoil. Don't spoil. Don't spoil.
Okay.
Anybody else want to take a guess?
We've got the ace king advantage here.
We do.
I think whoever has it. So
Oh,
yeah, I think it comes down to the ace king advantage.
And
so
so
one thing, if we're looking at poker coaching, one thing we can think is we have the range advantage and the nut advantage, and our opponent has really good board connectivity, which means we get to bet a lot for a large size.
Kind of where I got the larger size and betting here.
Okay.
One thing to what Larry said about the ace king advantage, don't we flat a fair amount of our ace king against low jack -1? So don't we?
You mean you saying we call it some frequency with ace king?
Yeah, in the big blind,
Yeah.
yeah, that we flatted some of them, so we don't
Yes.
have ace king at full frequency here. And
Nope.
then he raised 100% of his ace kings up front. And when we did 3-bet him, how much of it did he 4-bet from low jack -1? I think he calls
Not
it.
100%.
Yeah, but does he even,
Yeah.
is it even most of it?
Well,
I don't have that chart in front of me.
I'm not sure either, and that's why I don't think either player has an ace king advantage. I think
Yeah.
it's pretty
So,
neutral.
Grant, the only thing I have, if we want to account for rake, is a low jack open and our big blind 3-bet range. We are 3-betting ace king suited pure and calling ace king off and mixing between 3-bet and call with ace king off at 50%. Like, so it's almost a 50-50 mix. So we have what,
This
8?
is
We
way,
have 12 combos of, technically, if we're going pure GTO, we have 12 combos of ace king.
are we in the big blind or are we the low jack -1 when you're saying we there?
We being whatever action is on. So we would be the big blind in that
Okay,
spot.
right.
Saying that our 3-bet range,
Yeah.
and that's a low jack versus a low jack open, which is going to be close enough.
Yeah.
We have 12 combos of ace king when we get to the flop.
Wiz is a range check with pocket kings. It's a range check.
Just range check the whole board.
Yep.
All right.
As the three better,
but it's
as the
tough, like,
three
we
better,
almost-
we're range checking.
Wow.
You know, we have to look at it as, me personally, at least, like, because I have to get ace queen in there, so I have to find a range that is going to allow. So I put it as a cutoff
Ace queen
open.
suited. Give him ace queen suited, and then he can still, because he can call that.
Right, but
And
we
there's that
really,
thing.
if we're looking at, once we're heads up on the flop, we're really looking at range versus range. So my thought process is I want to give him a range in these spots that has the exact hand. So like when he has ace queen
Okay,
off,
I got you.
versus a big blind 3-bet, ace queen off mixes between 4-betting and calling and folding a little bit. So I'll give him a cutoff. I'll make it a cutoff open versus a big blind 3-bet. So that I can put his exact kind of combos in there. Because
I think that's a really good idea.
Because it's probably, in all reality, if he's calling there, his range probably looks closer to something like what a cutoff range would look like.
Yeah, I think that's really smart for that reason. Is you don't just capture the ace queen, you capture all the hands that he probably played the same way. Yeah.
Because I mean, I try to think it, like we said, like, it's not just ace queen, right?
Yeah.
He's going to be
Yeah.
in there with hands other than, like, he's going to be in there with other garbage. He's going to be getting in there with his king 10 suited, his queen 10 suited, his 9-10 suited, like the hands that are just always folding to an EP open. And then when you're EP and you open and big blind 3-bets you are calling with such a narrow range that, I mean, a lot of the shit that this particular villain's going to be in there with is just never. So we want to look at a kind of an estimate of what range he's actually in there with.
Yeah.
And against that range, Peak has us checking 2.23% and actually betting B25 at a clip of 92%. So we are just pure range betting, basically, small.
And Wiz has a bunch of big bets versus that range, cutoff range. So that's quite the difference.
Yeah,
Be-
it really
between
is.
cutoff and hijack, or cutoff and low jack -1.
Yeah.
And I think that Andy's approach is the more realistic one for the reasons he gave.
Mm-hmm. So you've been checked to with ace queen, Brian. Oh, I think we lost Brian. Was it Brian? Yeah, Brian was doing it.
Yeah, he said got to go quick.
Hi guys.
So here's what happened. He bets his top pair, top kicker, and pocket kings, which we would all be. And I think I was in the check camp. I was in the check camp. I thought it would be at least 50% checks. And on this board, I think I probably would administer that strategy. I would not fold. I would not raise though either. Anybody just raising or
I mean, we have a combo draw. I like raising here. Granted, I mean, I don't know, against that range, he does have a lot of two pair, but he also has a lot of pair plus straight draw. And if he's got pair plus straight draw, then we just have him crushed.
And when we're ahead, when we're ahead here, we are close to invulnerable. And when we're behind, we need help. We're behind against two pairs. It's easy for him to have a two pair here. And it's easy for him to have,
yeah, two pairs
tens
and
and jacks.
sets.
Yeah, they're easy for him to have. But normally with kings, you're afraid of an ace. We're fine with an ace. The only card that we expect to really be bad for us is a king. And
we don't love seeing a queen, but chances are, I mean, there's just,
yes.
I don't know about that sizing that he chose, but I dig the check raise. I mean, I think ace queen should have gone with a slightly smaller probe or slightly smaller stab, slightly smaller check raise, and we maybe play a 2 street game, but I don't hate the check raise. I mean, the size, I don't love the ace queen sizing. I don't really love the king's check there.
how much do you hate the ace queen's call though?
That's a terrible call. I mean, depends. If I'm Mr. Pocket Kings, I love that call.
Yes.
But yeah, that is just such a fishy. I mean, you got 3 bet from the big blind. What are you beat? You beat King Queen. I mean, you beat. I don't know that anything else is making is just check raise jamming there. You beat one hand.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's the hand that you beat, then he still has equity. He still has equity. Like you don't have anybody crushed ever.
Brandon is up.
Yep. All right, fold under the gun. +1 should probably be a fold. Fold there. King, queen open.
Oh, wow, that's a tight fold
Oh,
too. That's a tight fold.
wasn't expecting that one.
Me either.
I guess it's gonna be small blind versus big blind here. Raise, and I'm assuming just a flat, a call. Oh, okay.
So you're playing queen 10 here, Brandon. You're queen 10.
I mean, queen 10, I'm not folding queen 10. Not queen 10 suited. I'll probably come along for a call here.
I think that's right. I think in theory, it's just fine.
Good afternoon. 9. We're gonna fight here.
I guess 7-5 would come in from the big blind with some raises there. It's part of that range that's just too junky to really play. So I'm checking the
I
flop
assume you
here.
check the flop.
Yeah, I'm checking the flop here. Lots of equity.
And then he goes B50.
I'm not folding. My question is, do I ever check raise here I would think I probably have some check raises here, especially with this specific type of hand, because I can kind of go either way with the straight. I got 3 to a straight, 8, 9, 10. I got the king, queen, 10 with the diamonds. I'd probably just call it though, but I'm trying to think if I would have any like check raises here.
Yeah, I think it's a sexy check raise. I don't know
Yeah.
if Theory
Can
likes
I,
it or not.
can I sell you on check raising queen 10 of hearts here and calling the other three?
I could see that. I have less, value.
Yeah.
I get more
Yeah.
out of the fold on the flop. So
Yeah.
that makes a lot better sense.
Yeah, I want to see if a solver does that at all. If it says it doesn't mind folding the queen 10 of hearts, it may not check raise any of them for the reason that none of them want to get 3-bet and blown off their equity. But
Exactly.
if it does any of them, if it does anyone, I'm going to guess it's the hearts. And
Yeah.
I'd like to see that before my flight takes off. Maybe I'll get lucky.
Turn went check, check. And you got the river 10.
I could see me going for some thin value, getting a call from like an 8 or a 9. I think if they had the straight draw, they would have kept betting on the turn because the 4 kind of it doesn't really connect too much with it. It's on the bottom end, but I would have thought they would have continued on the turn if they actually had something. So I would bet thin.
So he went for the little dinky block bet.
Yeah. I
What
probably
size
would have
would
went bigger than that. I probably would have went like anywhere from like 7 to 15.
Yeah, okay.
Probably like 15.
And you would have got the fold there too. Okay, let's see if we can't get Scotty what he's looking for. We had a blind versus blind. We had a raise. We had a 3-bet. We had a call. Let's see, Queen 10 ever doing anything else? It's got a little bit of 4-betting there. We call, and we are going to look at, where's my tables here? It
King 8 9?
was
King 8
King
9
of
rainbow?
diamonds, 8 of clubs, 9 of spades. King of diamonds, 8 of clubs, 9 of spades. And we get the check as we, oh, there's
Yeah.
donking. There's donking here. Our range is donking. Like a lot of our hands, but we check, which is pretty normal.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get the B50. And let's see if the Queen 10 suited does some raising and it's likes the hearts more than it does
Hearts
the
is more.
others.
Okay.
All right.
So good call, Scotty.
Right. And it is an unimportant difference to learn. This is GTO weeds because I mean, look at it. Why do you need to ever actually implement this difference? I just love that we're learning that difference.
Yeah, and that's a great point that you guys brought up about how when you have the back doors, you just kind of you have a lot more equity to be able to. Yeah, I thought that was a really good point. Scotty, you're next. Do you have time for one more?
Let's give it a try. Come on, the flight hasn't taken off yet. Here we go. I can see the board. And Queen 9 fold, Ace 5 fold, 3 9 fold, Ace 7. Some people do some raising there. Let's see if he does. It's not a terrible raise there. You can do it. 10-10 always raise. Great. Ace 9 suited. Yeah, this is good. Yeah, I like it. 4-4 fold. Come on, fold. Good job. 10-10. You could I think you've got some 4-bet between 10-10, but I think it's going to be a majority just call. Okay. Ace 9, king high, disconnected board. Great board to continue on. He checks. 10-10 should be happy. And I think the majority of the time here, I'm going to check behind. I'm not going to bet my 10s till he checks twice, which means I'm giving him a draw. Okay, great. Having taken this line, I think the Ace 9 should continue the line and check. All right, 10-10 can bet now. And he should be betting dinky, but he doesn't bother. Ace 9 should wait till we have equity. check it. And now the 10 says just, oh, he does 20.
The 8, it's over bet.
28 over bet. This is hard for the 10. This is a hard bet to call. Let me see.
We are in absolute sliverland now.
This is hard because one of his hands is ace-5 that plays this way. This is hard. So this is going to be totally villain dependent. So let's look at his stats. Let's decide by looking at his stats. I'm doing a stat here. I'm looking it up. What's his 3? Okay. So
8% 3-bet.
he's normally his aggression. He's got an AF of 8. All right. Now I might be influenced by the fact that I know his hand, but I'm gonna say that based on his AF of 8, I'm gonna call. But that's nonsense. I'm being influenced by his cards. So is he. Great.
Yep. And I just want to see how the ace-9 does here with the button. And the 10s are 4-betting quite often, actually pure in this sim.
Sure. Okay.
Wild.
We won't get to actually see what we do on the river, but I'm curious about the King 5-7 disconnected with no hearts, King 5-7, right? That was the right board. And
Yep.
yeah, pretty much a range bet, Scotty, just like you thought.
Good.
Yep.
But so he does get to check it, and with his ace-9 suited, he takes some checks. So let's take the checks.
And the hearts, which is the non-suit version, is the one that does check.
Right.
What does that tell us?
You need some equity to bet. You don't need any equity to bet if you can bet everything. You want some equity to bet.
Yeah, that's one of those where I try to wrap my brain around it, and I never seem to really grasp it and maintain that knowledge.
Well, here's the problem: is you look at the ace-9, and it does this, and then you drop down to the queen-9, and if it reverses itself, you go, okay, I know nothing. It's got to stay the same, and it does. Yeah, so it's not. It tells you it's nice to have equity.
Yeah. Okay.
But he takes the check line, and now we're going to see if he continues the check line after checking. Yes. So we can't have pocket 10s, but pocket 9s is going to be the equivalent of pocket 10s in this. And pocket 9s does a lot of checking behind.
Spades.
And somebody.
Yep. Continues to check, like you said.
Yeah. Yeah. Majority, the range majority checks.
And
now
we
we
start
down to the 9s wake up.
9s wake up a little bit when you have a heart in particular. And yep. Okay.
Why is the heart important in this one? Because you don't know.
Because the heart is important. Wait, okay, this is different. Why is this different? What did I do? Check, check, check. Why did this change?
Because you check.
Now it's back to where it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm weird. So the heart is important because there were no back doors.
No, it also does it with the. It also does it with the diamond club. We don't have to learn it. It doesn't. What it is it's some magical spades thing that doesn't do it. So we don't care.
Yeah. All right. So check, check, river, small blind. Let's see if they ever blast. Not over bets. There's no over bets at any part of this range. And his combo in particular, the hearts, just likes to continue to check. I'm going to give him an overbet and see what decides to hero call. And 9s mix, so that means 10s are mixing.
Right.
This is so wild how different the two solvers are.
You're getting different results.
Yeah, like we can after we're done here, we can take a look at peak if we want.
Yeah, let's make this the last one, and I'll stop share and you can share.
And I'll see you guys on Monday. Bye.
Thanks, Scotty.
See you,
Thank
Scotty.
you.
See you Monday.
So I'll start with our button open. And then we get the small blind 3-bet. So as you can see there, but then we get the button call here, and this is where kind of the difference is. Like pocket tens is almost a pure call. And then we see our flop and look at small blind strategy. I mean, 0.8% check. We are just firing B60 with everything. So here's our ace nine in particular. So when we go check, obviously we're in sliver land at this point. So this is what our actual strat looks like when I blow it up. Now once we get to this point, now it just becomes, all right, let's check it. So check, and then small blind goes with the over pot. We'll call it 31.5.
No, that was the river. The river is when he went over pot.
Oh yeah. I have a heart. And now we just have, I mean, ace nine of hearts wants to just absolutely doesn't want to do shit. I mean, this is what we actually look like, what our range actually looks like.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what we have. Ace nine of hearts specifically wants to just check, loves to check there. All other ace nines like to be 60.
It's actually
we're-
like the B20 or B30, whatever the B25 is.
No, the 12.6 is a B60.
Because look at ace nine of clubs. Bet 5.2.
Ace nine of clubs loves
diamonds.
the 5.2.
Ace nine of
Nine of
diamonds.
spades loves. So yeah, ace nine of spades loves the B60. Clubs and diamonds love the B25. And then so we'll call it what I mean it was less than a 150 pot, but we'll call it a 150 pot and see what happens. And I mean, even like we get there on the button, we get there with a much more an actual range.
Yep, and tens are kind of like, yeah, okay, well, call or
Yeah.
fold on either way.
Yeah.
So if your opponent, you think he's over bluffing, or you call every time?
Yeah, but let's take a look. Like even on the so when we get to the button, on the flop, tens like to just keep checking for the most part. Saying, okay, let's see a turn. Like I have equity. When they check the button, we actually start betting more. What was our exact combo?
It was heart diamond, diamond heart.
So the heart diamond really likes to start betting the turn with the tens. We really like the
So spades is what it doesn't like. It doesn't like having a
yes.
spade.
So it likes to have, it doesn't like the spade, but it likes the spade heart a lot more than spade diamond and spade club.
Yeah.
I guess having a heart blocks. I don't know why that this is a weird like why does it like I understand why it likes checking the spade more. Because we do block some combos of flush draws, some of the continues. I don't know, but yeah, we see when we have no spade, we do a lot more betting with the tens. But we elect to check. So now we get here, and obviously we have to blow it up. Let's see if I want to just kind of interested to see if we take that line and never fold and actually want to start raising. What about when we go a B60 line there? 10's just pure call. Once we hit pot, our 10's start folding a little bit.
One of the differences between the Peak Sim and the Wiz Sim is that 3-bet that I had was a very more polarized 3-bet. It was to 12. I did change it to with a smaller size 10, more linear, which is more matches what you're showing us on Peak, and things tend to line up a little bit more like we're seeing on Peak because of that polarized sizing that Wiz uses.
Yeah. And now, and it was a small blind 3-bet, right? It wasn't a big blind.
It was small blind, correct.
Okay, yeah, so I have that right. Yeah. And like I wish and maybe Peak will get there to a point to have be able to change some of the bet sizing and edit that. Like I know Peak is still fairly new into the game. Um and maybe I just need to stop being a cheap ass and start paying for Wiz. It's just nice because I play a lot of tournaments and here I'll stop the share now. I play a lot of tournaments and cash, so it's nice not having to pay to like I probably would bite the bullet on Wiz if there was a combo package. But like looking at paying what close to $400 a month for a tournament, and I'm not at that point in my game where I'm making enough to where I can use that, you know?
Is it really that much? Holy snipes. Is that with the AI version?
I don't know. I
That's
don't even know what
crazy.
the subscription packages are. Let me look. I know it's not cheap.
No, you don't have to look. I know it's expensive too. I didn't realize it was holy smokes,
Yeah, it's like
400 a month.
150, 180, like yeah, per month. Pretty expensive, yeah.
Yeah, you can't buy them
Um,
together.
Yeah, like if they offered a free or they offered a whatchamacallit, a combo package, I would probably take it, to be honest. It would definitely um here we go. Yeah, so this is um yeah, to go with the elite is this tournament or so this is cash. Is the elite package is 129 a month. And that's probably if you pay in lump sum. I would almost be willing to bet that if you pay monthly, it's more than that. Let's see. Yeah, monthly is 149. If you pay one lump sum annually, it's 129. And that's just cash. And then to do MTT is same thing. So I'd be $300 a month. Well, $300 a month if you're paying monthly to have both. Um, which is wild. And that's with all the AI and everything. To allow node locking, and that's nuts. I might have to bite the bullet and just do the cash subscribe for just the cash game, just because of how much more detailed it is. I don't know. I don't know if I've really outgrown Peak yet. And it's not like the outputs on Peak are bad outputs. It just can't customize a lot.
I got
Alright, gents.
GTO Plus.
There, you're back.
Yeah.
Hey, Skate, how you doing?
You said, Brendan, you have GTO Plus?
Yeah, I got GTO Plus. Like, I mean, you have to run the solver, so it has to like do it. It's not automatic like Peak or Wiz, but you can customize it almost to
Whatever you want. Yeah, I have
whatever.
GTO Plus as well. Um, but it's just for the labor intensity. Like it's nice having an actual like pre-solved solver too that I can just hammer stuff out quick.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you're looking for something quick, I'd definitely say like because I've been considering like Peak as well, just because I mean I already got the premium. I just didn't do the peak. But I've been thinking about just getting one of those preloaded solvers like Peak or like GTO Wizard. But if you want something more like precise and you're really trying to hammer home like a specific one and you got GTO Plus, yeah, you can do it if you, it's just, like you say, it's just a little more labor intensive.
Yeah, I mean, I have GTO Plus myself personally. I don't use it probably as much as I should. Um, but yeah, it's pretty cool, especially that it communicates with Flopzilla, so you can run combinatorics and solutions. If you do you have
Yeah.
Flopzilla too?
Yeah, I got the Flopzilla and GTO Plus on here.
Yeah, I mean, for the price, you can't beat it. I mean, most other solvers that are actual like real solvers start at $1,000.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So yeah, I
plus
mean, I like GTO Plus. I don't, like I said, I don't use it nearly as much as I should, but
Yeah, same here. I'm trying to get it kind of developed so that when I hop on, it's not as labor intensive. Like I've been, like dropping in my categories for all my different like ranges, all the way from 10 big blind tournament all the way up to like 60 or 80 and getting the cash charts in there as well. So that way when I load it up, it's not as much time consuming stuff.
yeah. Honestly, I'm probably gonna get a desktop soon, instead of my laptop. That'll be dedicated to just like financial trading software and poker stuff. That'll have a lot more processing power, and then I'll probably get into running solutions with GTO Plus a lot more. It's just right now, like it's just so inefficient for me running solutions because I can't run super big solutions without basically bogging my computer down for an hour.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, guys, we call it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
unless Skate or Brendan or anyone has hands that they want to look at really quick.